15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
It's very cute of Aaron Rodgers to pretend like this is not a revenge game on Sunday night when the Packers come to Pittsburgh. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. We will get to Victor Wembanyama.
Wemby is his nickname.
Which is turning out to maybe be one of your most egregious opinions you've ever had in your life, thinking he was going to be a bust. Turns out he might be the greatest basketball player of all time when this thing is said and done.
5 minutes into the Spurs-Mavericks game last night, I actually was going to text you and say, Maggie, I don't think I deserve get enough credit for having the single worst take of all time. I got to call
Jama.
Yeah.
I mean,
it can't be worse.
What's the exact opposite of a bust? It's a 7'5" Frenchman named Victor Wembanyama. Oh, my God.
I know. We should have known you were off on this take when he went to go study with the monks. That's when you were in real trouble.
I came away with one thing last night. The picture of him, I didn't remember. Did we do that this offseason? Okay. He had a buzz cut. I'm like, that's why he reminds me of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who did a similar thing. He's Kareem combined with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, well, we'll get to Wemby in a moment because he kind of really overshadowed Cooper Flagg, who was also on the floor but having a little trouble last night. But first, Aaron Rodgers. He spoke yesterday. Manny, can I hear cut 5, please? So Aaron Rodgers talking about how, yes, this is not a revenge game in the same way that it may have been when, let's say, Brett Favre first faced the Packers after he had left Green Bay.
Well, Brett got traded, and then he went to one of the hated rivals. You know, I was in New Jersey for a couple of years. I don't have any animosity toward the organization. Obviously, I wish that, things have been better in our last year there, but, I have a great relationship with a lot of people still in that organization.
Okay, more from Rodgers. Says he does wish things had ended differently, Pearl, after 18 seasons with the Packers, but he knew the writing was on the wall the night they drafted Jordan Love.
Obviously, would have loved to ride off in the sunset after a Super Bowl win, but that's not the way the league goes sometimes. And, I knew the writing was on the wall when Jordan was picked. And as a matter of time, I happened to win MVP the first 2 years he was with us. But I knew at some point there would be a change, and if I wanted to play, it'd probably have to be elsewhere. So I understand the situation. We live and we learn, and I have nothing but love and appreciation for the fan base, for the city of Green Bay.
Okay, last one from Rodgers here, Pearl, on why his feelings now have maybe evolved on the Packers from, let's say, the day he walked out of the darkness retreat, that fateful day.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder, maybe. I have a lot of great memories from my time there. A lot of great interactions with fans over the years, living in Green Bay, living in Swamico, living in Hobart, going to Chives, being out and about, seeing people at the Piggly Wiggly when I'm shopping for groceries. I grew up there. I spent 18 years there, from 21 to 39. So I'm thankful for my time there.
Don't you underestimate Swamico, Wisconsin.
I never did.
He sounds like a presidential candidate who's visiting a major primary state.
Well, he almost was. That's not that far off. He was a vice presidential candidate for about 5 minutes, much to everyone's delight. But, listen, Rodgers has the ability to be so charming and charismatic when he wants to be, and then he can be sarcastic when he wants to. He can be biting when he wants to be. But there is one thing that will always be the baseline for the Aaron Rodgers that we know, right? On the outside, the one that we know. This dude never forgets a slight. This is a guy who is like a memory, like an elephant.
Yep.
He's keeping receipts all up here, Pearl. Like reading defenses. He reads and has a laundry list of all the people who have ever wronged him, who have ever slighted him. He's keeping this in a file, and maybe all great players do that, but Rodgers does it like to a Hall of Fame level.
Not a lot of great players have a resentment against their parents and push their parents out of their life. So you're right. He is a Hall of Fame resentment creator. There's a lot of evidence. That's not reading into something that's not there. That's publicly known.
Yes. And so, it was only 7 weeks ago when we had the opener and he beat the Jets. The Jets he was with for 18 games. I mean, he barely was in the facility, made a lot of headlines for how little production there was for his time in New York. But he said afterwards, I want to beat everyone associated with the New York Jets.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, I thought the way that it ended in Green Bay was a lot more personal than the way it even ended with the Jets. The Jets got weird fast because that organization is terrible from the top down. But the Green Bay Packers, it hurts more when it's the person you've been with for nearly 2 decades, won a Super Bowl together. And they basically, if we recall the details there, went to California to try to meet with him, never really got in touch. And then according to Rodgers, Brian Gutekunst, the GM, just left California, and that was basically it.
Okay. Something you said stuck with me, that you think that Aaron Rodgers will say all the right things before the game, then afterwards take some shots.
Well, if he wins, he will be I think he will be, he can't help himself. He will say something if he wins.
I would not bet against that. I think you could easily be right. But I do think that Rodgers, I have 2 teenage daughters. Okay. And my wife read a parenting book that said, do not take their emotions in the moment too seriously because they often change. Aaron Rodgers, I feel, is volatile. I think that he was probably hot against Green Bay, but I do believe that the experience with the Jets was more powerful to him because it was more recent. And I think that his resentment shifted to the Jets and away from the Packers. And I think that his experience with the Jets, in hindsight, made his experience with the Packers seem like a more positive thing. The meme where the guy's walking with a girl in his arm and he looks behind another girl?
Yeah.
In the resentment chart, the resentment, if that's what Aaron Rodgers is, the girlfriend in this weird metaphor.
Yeah, you're here now. Finish
the Jets are the hot resentment. He's more into. I really do think that he's more angry at the Jets, and I think it changes perspective on Green Bay. 2 years in New York, and let's face it, 2 years with the Jets will do that.
Yeah, I'm surprised his hair's not completely white. Because it will age you. To be around the Jets.
I think he's mad at the Jets, and I think I do sense that some of the positivity towards Green Bay is genuine.
So 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. EJ, can you throw this up on the poll? What ended worse? The Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay or Aaron Rodgers at the Jets? Now, there's probably going to be a little recency bias here.
Yep.
But let's not forget, there was more equity with Green Bay.
Yep.
There was more at stake. There was more memories. There was more everything. Success and, failing to live up to expectations. There was just so much more. And, Rodgers is going through clearly something at the time. The darkness retreats, the ayahuasca, all this stuff, which is very non-traditional. And he was extremely open about it. And I think that he was very, very upset with the Packers that they didn't seem to have his back when he was still winning MVPs. And after they drafted Jordan Love and never gave him the heads up on it. We know how much that devastates these starters.
That was a huge deal. You can't underestimate the impact of drafting Jordan Love. But I will say this. The last year, Rodgers was telling them, I'm not sure if I want to play. And remember, he didn't pick up the phone. He said it was bad service in Malibu.
Well, everyone's been through
that. The opposite happened
at the Malibu house, at the Malibu mansion. Bane of my existence, everybody.
He went to New York. He said, I want to play. And Aaron Glenn, specifically, the coach of the Jets, basically gave him the middle finger. I think that was such a stronger experience to him. Green Bay, I think Goody would have re-signed him. I don't think they even necessarily want to get rid of him, but they're like, he's out in California. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know that they wanted to go to Jordan Love. They had just won 13 or 14 games 2 years in a row. So I think what New York did when Aaron Glenn brought him in just to cut him, I think that is a much stronger experience for him. I think it's more visceral in this moment.
I said, you don't know me. And he said, you don't know me. And then I said, exactly.
It's so good. And it kind of seems like maybe Rodgers telling him that was exactly how it went down. Now what we know a little about Aaron Glenn.
Exactly.
And now Justin Fields. Now that's Justin Fields' problem. It's not Aaron Rodgers' problem.
Exactly.
Yeah, but Rodgers said something yesterday. He kind of expanded on the Brett Favre and how he replaced Favre, and then how now Jordan Love replaced Rodgers. And he said the same thing happened. Favre got hurt in a game against the Cowboys. Rodgers came in, played really well, and that's when he knew, okay, I can be a starter in this league. Same thing happened with Rodgers. Got hurt against your Eagles. Jordan Love comes in, completed like 6 of 8 passes or something, scored a touchdown, and realized, okay, I can play in this league. So I know you're not sure if maybe the Packers would have even gone back to Rodgers. According to him, he thought the writing was on the wall, not just when Love got drafted, but that fateful day in Philadelphia or against Philadelphia. Anyway.
Yeah, that being said, it's also, he's in Pittsburgh. Let's not underestimate.
It's not in Lambeau.
Right,
Very
no,
different.
but I'm saying Rodgers is in Pittsburgh, and like something real is happening here with the Steelers. And this, you might not believe this, he might actually be focused on this team and not really
He can multitask when it comes to
right.
slights.
He does have a big brain. I mean,
Yeah,
one thing, we talked to Bill Michaels, a Wisconsin radio host yesterday. He's like, Rodgers has been brilliant since the day he got here. I mean, even people who don't like Rodgers, like, man, the guy, he has an incredible memory. He is sharp and somewhat eccentric. Like that, we read the Ian O'Connor book, but the dude is smart. You're right. He could totally multitask and be focused on the Steelers. Do you think this will affect his play? Because one thing the Steelers have not done all year is take any shots downfield. They're so conservative. Is he going to want to send a message?
So I think it depends on how Mike Tomlin approaches this. Now, one thing that we learned last year, if you guys forgot about this, and we're talking about Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers hosting the Green Bay Packers this Sunday night. So it's Rodgers' second revenge game of the season, if you're keeping track. But Russell Wilson kind of betrayed something last year about Mike Tomlin that we had never known before, or at least maybe the local media in Pittsburgh knew, but I'd never heard of it. That Mike Tomlin has like a petty game ball that he gives out when it's necessary.
I don't remember
this. So
no.
Russell Wilson kind of like, he kind of alluded to it, and I think it probably ticked off Tomlin because he wants to keep everything in-house. But there's like, it's not every week, but when the situation arises and somebody's either facing somebody who wronged them or has a little extra mustard on the game, Mike Tomlin will hand out a petty game.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so I think how do all the Steelers have a little extra juice because of this? Probably depends on how Mike Tomlin approaches it.
Oh, well, you know what?
Like, do it for Aaron.
I think I'm going to go to my betting app right now and totally
underdogs.
Wait.
Yeah, Steelers 3.5-point underdogs.
Mike Tomlin seems to really like Aaron Rodgers, and I think he would do that for Aaron Rodgers.
He might. 888-710-4ISN. Now, as far as the matchup is concerned in this game, it's funny.
Well, yeah, that's another factor.
Another factor.
That's a good defense, too.
Yeah, and listen, Micah Parsons, for some reason, last week in Arizona, they decided, we'll just kind of single cover this guy. Well, I don't think the Steelers are going to be that stupid. So I think the Steelers are going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at trying to stop Micah Parsons and giving Aaron Rodgers as much time as possible. But Rodgers is also one of the best maybe ever to do it in terms of getting the ball out quickly. Tom Brady, I mean, these guys are masters at just getting rid of the football and doing it in a way where they don't turn the ball over a lot. So, yeah.
Well, I think Micah didn't really take off until the fourth quarter of that game. They had bottled him up majorly. Like he was, I remember the announcer said, "Where's Micah Parsons
today?" He had 10
today?"
pressures in the game, though, not just the 3 sacks.
But he really wasn't getting to the quarterback. The opposite is true, by the way, with the Steelers. I think the Packers will bottle up DK Metcalf. They're not going to let him get a slant and go. They're going to. That was one thing I was like, oh man, you got to watch out for DK here. If you don't go to DK Metcalf, who's your next target? Kind of get a guy on
Darnell
Freiermuth.
Washington.
Get a guy on Freiermuth. Yeah.
Your 6'7", 300-pound, air quotes, tight end. I think he's going to be the guy probably on Parsons to help double team.
My litmus test for how the Packers are doing and how many fans they have in the opposing crowd is when Freiermuth catches a pass. If you hear the moo that sounds like a boo.
Yeah, for the Steelers
which
fans.
Which is almost every road stadium.
Yeah.
then you know that there are a lot of Steelers fans. I mean, but they're at home. It'll be interesting. Packers fans usually also take over stadiums. They can't really take over Pittsburgh. I don't think it's a stadium where you get seats for the opposing
Sunday
crowd.
Night game, yeah, this crowd's going to be whipped up.
It's going to be a factor.
Bummer that you're coming off a loss to the Bengals, but I still think people look at the rest of the AFC North and they're looking at, Lamar is still kind of back at practice, but certainly not full strength. Obviously, Cleveland's a mess. Cincinnati, we'll see, but probably would have been maybe even more at a fever pitch if they were coming off of a win, but nonetheless makes this game really important. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. And I think also for both sides of this, obviously this is not reinventing the football wheel here, but can either team get the run game going? You know, we saw Chase Brown run roughshod last week over the Steelers, and it was like, where did that come from? You know, so are they going to be able, you know, to try to stop the run, because that's been a big part of Green Bay's offense, and then flip side, you know, Jaylen Warren.
Jaylen Warren, and don't forget Ken Gainwell, former Philadelphia Eagle.
Kenneth.
Ken?
Yeah, I call him Ken. I know. Why does everyone call him Kenneth Gainwell? Like, nobody's called Kenneth.
His mama wants him called Kenneth. We call him Kenneth.
Do you know anyone named Ken? Would you call them Kenneth? It's kind of weird. It's very formal.
I don't know how many Kenneths we still have.
All right, Andrew. Why aren't you Andy, bro?
Kenneth is a
Drew.
lot more complicated than Andrew. I mean, why isn't he Elijah? Or why aren't you Manuel?
Because you didn't even say it right. That's why.
Manny's Emmanuel.
Oh.
Have you ever received an email from him before?
Yes, and I always get confused. I have major problem with you because I always put an M for it to start sending your email to you, and I'm like, why is the M not coming up? You know, autocorrect on email.
Yeah, because that's not my government, man.
I also have an issue though on Twitter too. Trying to tag you on Twitter.
And your Twitter handle is
Rodriguez.
awesome.
I'm like, no one refers you as E.
But what's the full handle?
E. Rodriguez Radio.
Yeah, that one I had trouble finding.
You go by Manny.
How many? I'd love to know out there. Are we still making Kenneths? You know, is that a name?
Well, nobody calls you Margaret.
It's because they'd be dead wrong.
Yeah, that is a wild story.
That my name's just Maggie.
Yeah,
my government, as Manny would say.
That's right.
Everyone? I've heard people call you Margaret.
Yeah, I just go with it.
Margarita.
I like that one better. 888-710-4ISN. Everything but Maggie May. You know I don't like that name. 888-710-4476. My personal revenge game is against Rod Stewart, but we've already covered that ground. All right, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers collision course. Maggie and Perloff show. Do you consider this revenge game? And also for the Packer fans out there, I mean, you probably want to beat Rodgers too. I mean, come on. The guy was, let's call it a buck, as they say. The dude was insufferable at the end. You can
keep
still
it a buck.
You keep it a buck, whatever. You can still have respect and love for the guy and acknowledge you were a gigantic pain in the rear end at the end.
I don't.
The McAfee appearances,
I don't know.
The drugs, the darkness retreat, not having service at the Malibu house. If you're a Packer fan, you can love Aaron Rodgers, but you also have every right to hope that Jordan Love shoves it down their throats.
I don't think it's 100% that way. I really don't. Because I know a lot of Packers fans loved Favre even after he left, despite there was a lot of reporting on some kind of beef there.
Favre also wasn't the greatest dude.
I feel, and I'm saying a lot of fans loved him. And I think I'm not sure fans think that way, especially young fans. What do they care about? They don't know about the cell phone service in Malibu. They're just like, I like watching that guy play. I want his jersey.
I don't know. I think young fans are actually more tuned in to the TikTok of everything, not literally on TikTok, but I think I wonder if there's still a little leftover, like, you know, good riddance. And the other part too is Love has been the complete opposite. What do we know about Jordan Love? Nothing.
Well, I mean, what did we know about Aaron Rodgers when he was sitting behind Favre? Nothing.
No, but Rodgers got weird at the end.
Yeah, I'm saying.
We can call that.
Jordan Love could be weird in 10 years. We have no idea. He's where Aaron Rodgers in his fifth year where Love was anonymous. Brett Favre was Mr. Personality. So in 10 years, Jordan Love could be doing all kinds of weird drugs.
Yeah, or just weird conspiracy theories and all that nonsense. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Just nuts. All right.
He's from Hawaii. He's nice.
Coming up next, we've got Jerry Jones at the owners' meetings. Did he show his hand on what the Cowboys' strategy will be for the trade deadline? It's the Maggie Perloff Show.
He's exposed himself?
You're in a 5-minute break.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. The weekend comes, I need some Tums, ready to eat some food. These days are ours, hanging with Freeze. These days are ours, listen to me. Goodbye, Damon, thank you, Drew. You are Freeze fans through and through. Got some right, got more wrong. Now it's time to say so long. Let's do it. Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you want to go where you can listen to DA. From Boise to Erie, PA. You ought to be where you can see the people are all the same. You ought to be where everybody knows your name. You ought to go where you can go. The troubles are all the same. You ought to be where everybody knows your name.
Mr. Huge Freeze, what are you going to be singing today in Week 17?
I figured I'd say thank you to you and the crew and the listeners out there, so maybe a little Danke Shane.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Danke Shane, D.A. Danke Shane. Thank you for all the joy and pain. The DA show, calling me Huge Freeze, was the place we'd meet. Hudson Street, you were sweet. I've been beat. Danke Shane, D.A. Danke Shane. Thank you for letting me sing again.
Got about a minute left.
Sure.
You want to sing anything for
Yeah,
us?
sure. I know you guys play the Perfect Strangers theme on Friday, so maybe I'll give you a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And sometimes the world looks perfect, nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change. No matter what the odds are this time, nothing's gonna stand in my way. This flame in my heart, like a long-lost friend, it's every dark street a light at the end.
You freeze.
Standing tall on the wings of my dreams.
Oh no, 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 no.
1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Oh, man. Manny. Why are you in such a bad mood, Manny? The Knicks won. They look great. Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. Manny is playing Maggie's least favorite song, and people still don't understand why. It's a great, great song, and it's got your name in it.
Yeah, listen to it. Have people sing it to you every day of your life from when you're 5 years old and see if you like it.
I know.
You have to be in a good mood.
Oh, I'm just dandy.
Let's get to the
Just
phones.
dandy.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. We'll get to the Cowboys in just a moment. But we're asking about Aaron Rodgers facing the Green Bay Packers for the first time since their breakup. First of all, which breakup was worse? Rodgers and the Packers, Rodgers and the Jets? And what do you think about it? Barry's in Portland, Oregon. Good morning, Barry. How are you?
Pretty good. How you guys doing?
We're good.
Aaron Rodgers, who always plays, nothing gets to him. There's a story that Aaron has never had the answer to. It's the Winston Moss story. In this story, Aaron Rodgers disrespected Furr in the locker room in front of the whole team his first year there. He was trying to show that he didn't have to be accountable for anything, that he's the leader. This is his team. Winston Moss got fired for those comments. They asked Winston Moss what the team has to do to make the coach successful. Winston said everybody has to be accountable. Everybody. And the reporter said, what about number 12? He said, who, Rodgers? He said, yeah, everybody. They told Rodgers, I heard Rodgers say on the radio, what are you talking about? Like the most spoiled kid. And Winston Moss got fired. And later on, Rodgers did what he did to his coach. This was on footage. This is not I'm making up. I've seen this. And I don't know why it's never been reported. He's never had the answer about it.
Yeah,
Never.
Barry, let's get the rest of the audience caught up on this because it was kind of like a under the radar kind of thing where you're talking about an assistant coach, Winston Moss, who coached for the Packers, sent out a tweet about how Aaron Rodgers, here's what he said. Ponder this. What championship teams have our great leadership, period. It's not the offensive guru trend. It's not the safe trend. Find somebody that's going to hold number 12 and everybody in this building to a Lombardi standard, period. Hashtag losing sucks. 9 hours after he sent that tweet, he was fired.
I said,
Listen, I get it that that can seem a little petty from Rodgers, but also if you're an assistant coach in the NFL, you call out your quarterback, you're basically begging them to fire you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It almost sounds like he wanted out because, and I don't have an exact memory of that, but I remember Winston Moss was really well thought of too.
The next tweet was, the Packers have informed me that they're letting me go. Hashtag thanks Twitter. So maybe he was like trying to usher in an exit here.
Guess he didn't like Swamico, Wisconsin.
Maybe not. Maybe he's more of a Hobart guy.
Yeah. He went on to become I'm reading his bio, head coach and CEO of a XFL team. So there you go.
Still? Or
I think the XFL is gone, actually.
Yeah, is that still a thing?
I think
They
The Rock
merged.
took
They
it
merged
over.
with the UFL, right?
Yeah, I'm just seeing XFL. I don't see him as part of is it UFL now? No. So, Winston Moss is not a social media influencer, obviously. It seems like me,
Just
like
that one
an old
tweet.
guy on Twitter who made a mistake. He's like, wait, how does this thing work?
I thought that was a DM.
Oh, I remember that
Well, as
mistake.
far as like Rodgers and holding him accountable, listen, I think that we all know, we've all been around this a lot. If you were like the fifth string wide receiver, you probably can't talk openly about using psychedelic drugs in other countries. You probably can't go on Pat McAfee and air people out. There are different rules for different levels of stardom and different levels of ability. And I'm not saying what happened with Winston Moss is right or correct or any of that. But, I mean, we've all been in the game long enough to know you might want to treat everyone well, but no one gets treated the same.
Well,
Big shout out to all the women backing up the fellas.
Even in New England with Tom Brady, he had special privileges with his trainer, Alex Guerrero, and they tried to take that away to make him accountable in a way, and it all imploded.
Yep.
I think that helped lead to his exit in 2019, which was probably a mistake by New England. You know, you're right. Different quarterbacks deserve different rules. Tom Brady, if he wants to bring his trainer into the building, you let him bring his trainer into the building.
Silly. Let's get to the Cowboy Quickie for today. Diana Rossini, you know her, you love her. Guest on the show many times. Ultimate insider for The Athletic. So was this on her podcast, EJ? Thank you, Scoop City. Diana at the owners' meeting, staked out with a bunch of other reporters in the lobby of some fancy hotel in New York, says she does not think the Cowboys asked about Max Crosby or have asked about any pass rusher. This whole thing could be a fake out.
Yeah, Dallas never even made a call to the Raiders. So that entire Max Crosby story was so exciting, I think, for Cowboys fans at the thought of it. But that is nothing that actually happened. Dallas never called Vegas about Max Crosby. And I don't believe the Dallas Cowboys really inquired specifically about a pass rusher.
Okay, more from Diana. Cowboys are looking around the league, but not sure what they want to trade to actually get someone.
I know from talking to Jerry today that they are definitely taking a look around the league. But we had this conversation, and we've had it here on Scoop City, where, yes, teams that are in contention, that believe that they can go to the Super Bowl, want to improve. But if you can't get a player of the caliber that you need, it's not worth it. It's not worth giving up picks.
Is she at a hockey game? What's happening?
Diana, what are you at the loading dock? Are you in the lobby of the hotel or like back in the kitchen?
I think she actually may have been in the lobby of the hotel. I saw the video.
No, everyone's in the lobby. You got to just hang in the lobby to try to get these owners as they're walking from the elevator to the car.
The video, she's just holding a microphone in what looks like any normal hotel lobby. People are walking by and stuff. She's dialed in doing this podcast, getting this Jerry Jones stuff out.
I don't know. It sounded like she was ringside at the Stars game.
Diana's the best, man. How about that type of focus? Okay, so a couple things there. Let's pause on that for a second. That's your Cowboy Quick. So this whole Max Crosby thing could have been a complete head fake. And then secondly, not really sure that the Cowboys actually want to trade these draft picks that they got for Micah Parsons. Now just, move them out the door, which is actually kind of diametrically opposite to what they said the day they traded Micah Parsons, which is, hey, we've got these draft picks now. We might even flip one tomorrow. You don't know.
Sounds exactly like when Jerry Jones said he was all in and then proceeded to do nothing and go all out in the offseason. So he's just full of it. Like he says, I'm going to make a big trade. He's not going to make a big trade. He's going to sign. Remember his big trade last year was getting Jonathan Mingo, a wide receiver for a 4th-round pick who's proceeded to get 8 targets since he's been there. He's just a liar. I mean, he says he's a gambler. He's bluffing again because I don't think he's going to make this big trade. And I wonder if he could make this big trade, maybe he could trade these picks for Max Crosby. Maybe it wasn't even the Raiders who said no. Maybe the Cowboys are just not wanting to do a big deal.
Well, it'd be a waste then because you do have this amazing offense. And if you don't do anything to add to the defense in a meaningful way, besides getting DeMarion Overshawn back, which may happen, but again, how good is he going to be right away? He's coming off a major injury.
He's a freak, though. I love that guy.
Good, that's a tall task. Hey, come back and save our defense after you had this massive knee injury.
I was very surprised to hear Diana say that it might not be pass rusher because that's such an obvious need, but their secondary is so banged up too. It could be they need help there as well.
Let's hear a little more from Jer. According to Diana, Jerry Jones didn't feel any regret watching Micah Parsons tee off on the Cardinals last week because the Cowboys had their own big win.
Michael Parsons.
My takeaway from the Parsons conversation was specific to this past weekend, because I said, Jerry, come on, the guy has a career day, and you're telling me you're looking at that situation thinking we wouldn't want him to be a Dallas Cowboy? He said, you think that when I trade away Micah Parsons, I don't think that these days are going to exist? Of course, Micah Parsons was going to have a Micah Parsons type day. He said, but the weekend that just happened was we also won, right? He's like, so I got a win and I've got picks. And he looked at it that way.
That's going to be hilarious when Parsons holding the Lombardi trophy. Anyway, just save that clip. More from Diana. Doesn't believe Jerry Jones has any regrets about trading Parsons.
I think that's kind of how they emotionally manage it, of both sides can come out on top of this, and both sides can win. I do not get the sense, and we talked for almost 30 minutes, that he has any regret about moving Micah Parsons.
There you go. So that's all. That's that. We just emptied the clip on the Cowboys. That's what we got.
Unbelievable, because he shouldn't regret the price tag. $46 million is a lot for Micah Parsons. And you could argue that they're better defensive ends. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson has been unbelievable for the Lions coming off an injury. But you can't look at this Cowboys team and say they don't miss the star pass rusher. Like, if they had him right now, we'd be looking at another 12-5 season, without a doubt.
It's all a load of crap. But that's my take. Let's get to Andrew Bogusch, who's got the latest headlines for us. What's up, Bogusch?
Guys, good morning. Your headlines are sponsored by Prize Picks. Football's heating up and basketball's back. So download the Prize Picks app and use code PRIMETIME. Oh, my God. And get $50 in bonus credit instantly when you play $5. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
When bust Jama?
I am going to nip this in the bud. Just 34 minutes into the show, noted thespian and the co-host of this fine program, Andrew Aloysius Perloff, barged into our newsroom this morning to tell us all, as if it was breaking news, how amazing Victor Wembanyama is.
Harper attacking in the paint. Harper back to Wemby, goes up strong with two hands and throws it down from 2-1. And Wemby with a finish.
40 points, 15 rebounds, 3 blocks from the 8-foot Wemby in his season debut and his first game since February because of his blood clot scare. And I'll remind everyone, this is the young man who Perloff still owes an in-person apology to for calling him a bust.
When bust Jama?
So I'm not going to allow you to tell us how unbelievable he is. You cannot enjoy, celebrate, bask in the glory of Wemby at all. It is not allowed on my watch.
So when I ran in this morning, I said, are you guys aware there's a 7'7" Frenchman running wild in the NBA? You're like, yeah, we're aware.
Are you called another perfect season? You said they're going to go 82-0.
I mean, how can they not go
Bills of the NBA?
You can't shoot within 8 feet of the basket when he's roaming around on defense. And then he blocks a shot and dribbles down, crosses over 3 guys, and fires up a 3. What? I don't understand what's happening here.
He skipped into a up and under double clutch dunk last night.
Did you remember when we thought Anthony Davis was good at defense? Well, Wemby went right through his chest. He was like rotisserie chicken out there.
His biggest fear is there's going to be an alley-oop where his head just goes straight into the rim. Did you see the alley-oop where he just grabbed it and dunked it behind his head as if it was nothing? It was as if me was dunking a donut into a cup of coffee. This is out of control. I'm sorry.
Forget hitting his head against the rim. He's going to hit his head up against Dirk Nowitzki's retired jersey banner.
I remember I had a feeling last night, and I know Wemby's been in the league for years. Well, 2 years, right? So
this is third.
Yeah, he's been in the league for 2 years. I had a feeling last night watching him. It's like the first time I saw Shaq in the NBA.
Yeah, we all remember where you were.
Oh, I've heard of Shaq. Yeah,
redefining.
It was crazy.
I've just never seen that. Or it's just I have never seen anything like that. And even Wemby, I've never seen him so solid. He just felt stronger. I don't know what it is.
I think it was stronger, as I said, getting to the rim, going through Anthony Davis. I mean, I was surprised by that. He was, you lamented last year. We joke around that Perloff just discovered Wembanyama last night, but you did talk about him a lot last year for a lot. But you mentioned how disappointed you were that he would always hang on the perimeter. Like, what are you doing? You know, Bogus said you're 8 feet tall. I mean, it's unconfirmed, the 7'5". Like, he could be 8 feet. He looks insane out there compared to everyone else. And these are also the tallest people alive that he's playing amongst. It's the aggressiveness, I thought.
Yeah.
And he looks stronger.
Confident. Interesting. You talk about him not floating around the perimeter. 40 points last night, 21 shots, only 2 3-point attempts.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
This was not somebody, I think averaged almost 6 3-point attempts last year a game, or 5 or 6, I think at least. So I don't know if that's going to be a shift you're going to see all season, but there was no question there was a shift in how he was approaching that game. He went in there to just run through guys, as Maggie said. It was like it's like those clips that you see, like, Kristaps Porzingis and, Latvia playing like against 12-year-olds, or, some of these guys, or Giannis playing against like middle schoolers. That's what it looked like with Victor Wembanyama in the NBA.
Yep.
It was insane.
It reminded me of, I don't know if you guys know the movie Rushmore, Wes Anderson's movie, where Bill Murray blocks a little kid's shot while he's on the phone. It looked like a dad playing with an 8-year-old. And I think it's just beginning, too, because he got more confident during the game. He missed a couple shots early, and I'm like, okay, he's I could see why people are saying he's better, and then forget it. He just, when his brain is where his body is, he's going to be completely unstoppable.
I'm telling you, went and studied with the monks, and now it's curtains for everyone else.
By the way, if I was De'Aaron Fox, I'd get healthy real quick, because Stephon Castle is coming for that starting spot. Castle was amazing last night, too, and him and Wemby already have a connection.
How do you stop the French guy?
Wemby or Ricochet?
Either he's going to get hurt or...
yeah, because everybody cares about what Zachary Ricochet
or
is doing.
Boris Diaw in international play.
Frank Ntilikina, Frankie Smokes.
Hey, we got a new Frenchie guy, okay? We got Pacome Dadier.
I have a theory. The only thing to stop tall guys, I've talked to a lot of friends who are tall guys, like
yourself?
Gotta be
like
low
myself.
man.
Like I was, 6'4", 163 pounds in high school.
Wind stopped you.
Anybody with any strength is a major problem for a tall guy. So you're going to have to get some really strong guy to get into Wemby's body and just force him to be uncomfortable and off the spot because there's no one who's going to match his height.
Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait for the Wembanyama Steven Adams collision of bodies is going to hit like crack.
You're going to bully.
Awesome.
You're going to have to try and bully him like the Jordan rules. You're going to have to hit him, which is going to. And I hope the NBA protects him because that'd be my solution. If anyone has a better
it's funny
idea,
though because they're not making centers like that. I don't know if they are making centers like that anymore.
So the problem though, last night also 11 free throw attempts, so he's getting calls too.
Yeah,
and they were playing time. But Anthony Davis just looked like he was throwing his hands up. He's like, all right, now I'm trying to be physical with him.
Yeah,
I'm touching him. And they're calling the foul. And NBA, he's a superstar. He's gonna start getting these superstar calls now. So good luck guarding this guy.
Yeah, and Anthony Davis is no schlub, by the way.
No, he's a phenomenal.
He's amazing.
No, he's like one of the best the NBA has.
And he looked like ever. Yeah, and he looked like a 2-guard trying to cover a center last night.
It's Wemby versus Wemby at this point. The only, I think, not about like maybe win the title or whatever. It takes a lot for that, but it's his body.
Yeah.
It just, can it hold up? Can it not hold up?
I mean, it was so impressive last night. It was
He only played 30 minutes, by the way.
Cooper Flagg's pro debut, and you forgot he was on the court in about 5 minutes. I mean, it was fine, but everything feels like a subplot to Wemby this year.
Also because you can't take your eyes off of him.
Yep.
When you're watching the game, it's like, where else would I look except for at the guy who looks twice as tall as everyone else?
Bogus's face when I came in talking about Wemby, just see, it was, he didn't sigh, but if a face could sigh, it was a sigh.
Well, what's your new excuse for not being in San Antonio to say you're sorry to this young man?
I have legitimate excuses that will be revealed at a later time.
Okay.
Thank you, Bogues. 888-710-4ISN. We're starting to get a little worried about Tua because he keeps saying really crazy things.
Can we put Tua and Wemby back to back just for the visual?
Can Wemby play quarterback on Sundays?
Is he free? He can see over the line. I can guarantee that.
That is for sure.
Damn.
Unlike Tua.
He can see out of the stadium.
He can see Dan Marino's mansion from where Tua Tagovailoa plays.
He can wave to him.
Forget that. He can see Cuba.
He could probably walk there. How deep is that water?
It's only 14 steps from him.
He's like, wow, Cancun looks nice from here.
All right. Lots more to do. Actually, we have another question for you off of Wembanyama. We'll get to that in a minute. But Tua's acting bizarre, and we got to talk about it. M&P.
Tua Tagovailoa.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
Oh no, 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 no. Oh no, no, no.
The regular season.
Wait, who is it?
Durant.
Thanks for listening, guys. Fourth time you mentioned it.
4 to 6 weeks.
Enjoy the pine, buddy. Enjoy the pine. Thank you for Mikal Bridges. Enjoy that pine. Eat that, Phoenix. Eat it.
The regular season.
Wait, who is it?
Durant.
Thanks for listening, guys. Fourth time you mentioned it.
4 to 6 weeks.
One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Pearl, we're just like everybody. We love gifts.
Sure.
Isn't it great to get a gift? So walk into the office this morning, and I see a package on the table. We'll get to Tua Tagovailoa in just a moment. Got a package here to the Maggie and Perloff show, our address here in New York City, from Phil in Pennsylvania.
Oh, awesome.
Phil is on the line now. Hey, Phil.
Hey, good morning, guys.
What's in the box, man? I have it here.
What's in the box?
So if you want to watch on the live stream, youtube.com/InfinitySportsNet, twitch.tv/Infinity Sports Network. Now, Phil, I don't want you to give it away, but what's behind this and why'd you send us something?
Well, I knew that you were in need of something, so I sent something for you, a gift. And Perloff, I sent a job for you, and it is very self-explanatory.
Okay.
And it's actually my birthday today, so I'd like for you to take care of it.
Oh, okay. Sounds a little scary.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, bud.
Phil.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, so what are we opening this now or?
Yeah, go right ahead. Yeah, go right ahead.
All right, we haven't really built up a lot of drama here.
Okay,
this unboxing, if you will.
Phil, this will be appropriate for national TV and radio.
Yeah, Phil, if this is Gwyneth Paltrow's head in a box,
Yeah.
We're going to be in big trouble. here.
No, it is getting close to Halloween, but nah.
Where'd you get the scissors? Would you just carry around a pair of scissors, Max?
Yeah, and everyone better know that I carry scissors at all time. No, I had them
Or
here
key-
in the
or keys.
While Maggie's doing this,
studio.
while Maggie's doing this, Phil, you got any trips to Philly planned?
I'm going on Sunday to the Eagles game.
Booyah! Awesome.
Look at you, Phil. What color's your hair right now? Oh wait, we already talked about that. Okay,
Not yet. That's in another month or so.
okay. Here we go. From Phil, youtube.com/InfinitySportsNet, twitch.tv/InfinitySportsNetwork, and Twitter @Maggie Gray. All right, hold on, Pearl. All right, I'm going to do this piece by piece. There's a coffee cup Phil, does this have puke in it?
No, it's a Yeti. You need a Yeti. You threw away yours, and I have like 4 or 5 just sitting around. It didn't cost me anything. It was actually free for me. So now I figure you could use it.
Is it gently used?
I maybe drank out of it once or twice, but I washed it thoroughly before I drank it.
Thanks, Phil. A hand-me-down Yeti. Thank you. It's silver, and it looks proper. Okay, and then we've got Pearl, a Sharpie. And a jersey.
Whoa!
A Boomer Esiason jersey from the Cincinnati Bengals. Phil, you're crazy, man. Where'd you get this?
Well, you said yesterday that he's about 100 feet away,
Yeah,
so I
he
figured
is.
it wouldn't be too much of an inconvenience.
We can absolutely have Boomer sign this for you.
What the hell was that all about?
What would you like him to put on the jersey? To Phil or something
Nothing.
else?
It's actually for my dad. It was his birthday on Saturday, and I picked it up on Sunday, and I sent it to you on Monday. It's kind of a surprise because he has no idea what I'm doing with it, so it's a surprise belated birthday present from my dad.
Okay, so what's your dad's name so we can tell Boomer?
Steve.
How do you say Steve?
EVE, yep.
Okay, to Steve, happy birthday. Just to Steve, thanks. Just a general one, right?
Yep, that's good. You could just, sign on the number. But, yeah, I remember I was just thinking about it. I've been putting it off, but figured, if Randall Cunningham can't sign that, I knew my dad had a Boomer jersey.
I got to tell you right now, this jersey is a work of art.
It's so nice.
It's a simple black jersey. In the 80s, they knew how to do jerseys. This thing is really cool, dude.
Phil,
you can definitely tell the quality.
No, the quality is great. We can definitely get this signed for you. We never ran into Randall when we were in Las Vegas, but Boomer, we know. We already seen him 3 times this morning.
And I would have been too tempted to keep the signed Randall jersey, to be honest, Phil. I don't know if I would have let Maggie send that back to you.
All right. Yeah, we can do it, Phil. No problem. Happy
Well,
to.
thank you very much. I appreciate it. Love you guys. I actually have a doctor's appointment at 8 o'clock, so
Keep
I
us
got to
posted.
get going soon.
Yeah, well,
good luck with all that. Thank you for the slightly used Yeti as well. The coffee cup here. Phil said he only drank out of it a couple times. So thank you. I'll be sure to get right on that.
Why do you have to tell us he had a doctor's appointment at 8?
Well, hopefully it's just a checkup.
Listen, guys, he couldn't hang on the phone for an hour and 20 minutes with you guys. He had to go.
Is that why you say why he pushed it?
Yeah, he said, listen, I can't hang on for the commercial break, and then another commercial break, and another commercial break.
Well, okay. We're glad that we got everyone squared away and everyone's going to be on time.
Yeah, and I mean, Phil hasn't really asked for any Maggie and Perloff signed stuff. He wants Boomer signed stuff. A little offense.
I mean, we don't have jerseys.
I have a Perloff jersey right up there, number 15.
Actually, you're right. I have a couple too.
Yeah.
But we didn't play.
Not at a high level. No, not like Boomer Esiason.
A little different.
Wait, Maggie, you weren't the first female player ever for the New York Rangers?
I could have been, but I had a calling to Sports Talk Radio.
No, the problem was Henrik Lundqvist, a whole bunch of HR violations right there.
Wow.
I thought you couldn't get into the Garden.
I'm looking at Maggie's wall of stuff.
All true.
Lot of championships there on that wall. We got a lot of Buffalo Bills stuff. We got a Mets jersey. We got a Nets jersey.
Yeah.
You could pretend that's a Spurs jersey from now on.
Yeah.
And then a Rangers jersey. So we got 94. Yeah. I'm just saying, not a lot of rings on that side of the room.
Yours is a Vikings jersey. It's the ultimate, one of the ultimate hard luck franchises.
I got a Jalen Hurts. I got a Phillies. I got some off the team.
But Jalen Hurts says Jalen Hurts on the back, not Andrew Perloff.
Everyone in America wants a signed Jalen Hurts jersey by Andrew Perloff.
Oh, by the way, Hurts is his commercial. Did you guys see? He's got a new commercial out. I don't know who's the worst actor, him or Justin Fields. Both were doing work yesterday. The Hurts commercial is just painful. They're trying to do everything around the fact that this guy can't act. And Justin Fields yesterday might need some improv lessons because he tried to sell the fact that he did not hear that the owner said we can't throw the football and that's why we suck. And didn't land. I wasn't buying it.
That's a great idea. We need comedian improv people to come in and lecture the quarterbacks on how to answer questions. Get Tua, get Justin Fields. Dylan Gabriel, by the way, if you guys haven't been paying attention, has been doing tiny missteps all over the place in Cleveland.
Dude, Daniel Day-Lewis can help these guys. I don't know, the best actor alive could.
They don't even need Daniel Day-Lewis. Just get the Mannings. Peyton and Eli are great actors. They never stepped into crap like these other guys do.
I know, but the Mannings just have a little something. I don't know if they can teach it.
Riz, Maggie?
Maybe. I think that as somebody who's classically trained could actually pass the skills on to someone.
I don't think Riz was used in the proper context right there.
Yeah. I actually.
The Mannings?
Yeah. I don't think Jalen Hurts cares.
Clearly he doesn't. That was evident in the work.
And on his play.
Sing. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. All right, we can get this jersey signed by former MVP Boomer Esiason. Coming up, we will get to Tua's comments and also what is going on with Shedeur Sanders.
What the hell was that all about?
You're in a 5-minute break.
Dua Lipa, Don't Start Now. That's the song you were trying to sing. I like Dua. Dua Lipa, Don't Stop Caring About Me Now.
Walk away. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. 30 seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Sports Network.
Obviously, we're still in the heart of football season, but we got to pause for a moment because Victor Wembanyama really took the league by storm last night again, but clearly he has added so much to his game in the offseason. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff, 7'5". Now the dude is not just hanging on the perimeter, Pearl. He's in the paint. He's basically barreling through Anthony Davis, who's one of the great defenders in this league. And Wemby was unreal in the opener.
Okay, I know he's in his third year, but this is so different. It reminds me, a couple things came to mind. I mentioned Shaq's debut in Orlando. Reminds me when Randy Moss came to the NFL in 1998. Like, wow, we've never seen a deep threat like that. It's so cool to see something brand new. A little bit of LeBron James coming to the NBA. But I got to tell you, even better than all three of those combined. That's where I am right now.
Okay, I was thinking about it. So Wemby last night, if you haven't seen it or caught the highlights, it's definitely going to be a topic of conversation on the water cooler, your group thread, whatever. However we talk about sports these days, you can call us at 888-710-4ISN. That's still a thing. But I think despite the fact that the NFL and college football are by far the most popular sports in America, I think that basketball and baseball have the most exciting two individual athletes that exist in sports right now. Forgive me, my international soccer knowledge is not probably up to par. But Victor Wembanyama and Shohei Ohtani are far and away the most exciting athletes individually that we have right now. And everyone's going to watch the NFL more, and we're going to watch college football more. But as far as singular stars, which I think is a lot of what young people gravitate towards, and all of us, like we love watching greatness, I think it's baseball and basketball that actually have the two biggest guys right now. And even guys who are really good in those other leagues, like it's fun to watch Bijan Robinson. It's fun to watch Jahmyr Gibbs. But they're not nearly of the, oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like this before. And for the Patrick Mahomeses, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, they've kind of been in our lives now for like a decade. So they're still great, but they're not new.
Connor McDavid, can I tell you a little? He's been in our lives a little bit.
Yeah, back-to-back Stanley Cup finals that he's played in. So it's been on the biggest stage.
He's dominant.
Wemby coming off, it's going to be in his second straight World Series. So maybe that's a good comp.
I mean, Connor McDavid does have that feel like he's an adult playing with kids. It's the one game I saw live. I'm like, what is going on here? I mean, you did mention Jamal, or you were saying soccer. Just watching that left foot was like nothing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, Manny, he's in this conversation, or is that way too soon?
I mean, he is among the top soccer players, but in regards to him being new on the scene, I mean, Lamine has only been, playing for Barcelona for about 2-3 years as well, and he's jumping. I don't want to say Wemby type jump, but he's developing very well for Barcelona, and he's definitely in that conversation with Victor Wembanyama among, international young stars.
But hold on one second. Yep. This is, I think, the distinction that I'm trying to make about Wemby and Shohei, okay?
Yeah.
Never seen anything like this before with our own eyes. Obviously, none of us were around for Babe Ruth. And so to see someone pitching and hitting the way that Ohtani has, and then just to watch the physical marvel of what Wemby is. Like, we've seen 7'5" guys, the George Mirasans and stuff like that.
Yao Ming, certainly.
Yao.
But he's like a fast, agile, skilled Yao Ming.
Yao was like a redwood tree out there, know? And I'm not saying Yao didn't have skill or any of that, but it is nothing like what we're watching with Wemby. I think that's where, I don't know about Jamal, but I'm just saying like athletes that feel so fresh and so brand new in a way that I don't think any other sports have something that compares.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that. I mean, Yamin Lamal is almost like a carbon copy of Lionel Messi.
Like Messi would have been the guy we saw.
Listen, I'm not going to try and vie with you soccer, but he's also got Cristiano Ronaldo in him. That's the guy who I watch in soccer. I'm like, oh my God, I've never seen that. I'm watching. I just pulled up highlights. I mean, this guy is spectacular, though. Messi was, I dare say, slightly workmanlike.
But I'm talking about like in regards to the way that he touches the ball and the way that he's able to see the field, pass the ball. It reminds me a lot of Lionel Messi and his size as well.
Maggie's talking about something, right? The newness of it, though. Like that's what I think.
Different. It's different.
And it's like Bo Jackson's. You mentioned the Randy Mosses. Michael Vick. Like there are these people that like are doing things at their position. Magic Johnson when he first arrived in LA, right? Like these guys who are trailblazers, guys doing things that we've never seen before, athletic marvels. It's different than just being a great player. We've seen great players. These guys are physical marvels and setting a precedent. Exactly.
Can I say one thing? We're forgetting when Yao Ming came to the NBA.
That was a big deal.
That was a massive must watch, and it was weird and cool to watch. But he's better than Yao Ming.
So I was lucky enough when I was covering basketball and covering the Washington Wizards home games as a radio stringer. I got to see Yao Ming in person and be around him in the locker room. And how Yao was so different from Wemby is the size of his his legs. This is going to sound, I know this is, I mentioned Maggie. Locker room and I know where everyone's head is going. Not that. I'm talking about literally the size of his legs. Like they were like tree trunks. He was so big. Like Wemby's skinny. He looks like maybe he put on a little weight, but how could you even tell with a guy that tall? Yao was solid. Wemby is a lot more like fluid, I guess. What I'm trying to say, Yao is like proportionate actually to his size. Wemby is tall and super duper skinny.
Yeah, he's almost like a supersized version of Kevin Durant.
Yes.
Like
Kevin
praying
Durant
mantis.
Yeah, Slim Reaper type of
very
thing.
long
Yao
arms,
was not
but
like
skinny.
that.
Right, Yao was, Shaq was trying to go through Yao and he was having trouble because Yao was so big. He's a massive person.
Yeah, and so Yao wasn't fast.
No.
Not like Wemby.
No.
And the game was different too. Guys weren't playing like that type of, there weren't even the number of possessions per game at that point.
Yeah, Yao was almost like a 7'6" Patrick Ewing.
Yes.
Like a jump
More
shooter.
traditional.
Yeah, traditional center.
Yeah, you know who is a little like that, who looked different? Arvydas Sabonis, but we never saw prime Arvydas Sabonis. Yeah. He was like a tree, but like Yao, both of them were very highly skilled. One thing about Yao, great athlete, but nowhere near the speed of Wemby or the athleticism of Wemby. It's totally different.
It's not even in the same stratosphere of terms of how it looks.
Yeah.
Not even close. Wemby is like from another planet
that's
that
what
just
everyone
got
keeps
dropped
saying.
in here.
Yeah.
But that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's apropos. I mean, he looks like an alien.
And Shohei's like this too. And we're talking about these great individual performances with Shohei's, 10 strikeouts and 3 home runs. I think that while football is the thing right now, both college and pro, the other sports have these transcendent guys where even looking at college football, is there even one of those guys that were
college is hard because you come and go so fast. I mean, who's made that kind of star power? Reggie Bush was huge in college.
At least last year we had Travis Hunter, who was playing both
ways.
Bit
of a freak. Yeah, that was a good one.
Won the Heisman. I mean, that was interesting.
I would argue that Wemby will be bigger than Shohei. I mean, take Asia out of it. Shohei, we had a caller yesterday who said he lived in Hong Kong and everything was about Shohei in Asia. But I think Wemby, because of the nature of basketball, baseball is big internationally, but NBA basketball is massive internationally. I think Wemby could be the biggest star in the world, even ahead of Shohei.
I don't know. Shohei seems like he's got a pretty big head start on him.
Poll
question, EJ, who's going to be the bigger global superstar, Wemby or Shohei?
But NBA is bigger than MLB baseball. Kobe, think of Kobe, LeBron, Michael Jordan, their impact overseas. I mean, Michael Jordan, just the shape of his head is known by every kid in Asia because I've been to Asia a few times. There are posters of him and Kobe everywhere. I think Wemby could be a bigger star.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about the impact that Shohei Ohtani is having on the kids of Italy compared to Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, Europe. Wemby's going to own Europe. I mean, serious. Like, that's a big deal.
A lot of people have tried that.
Manny with a zing. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. A little international politics here on a Thursday. All right, that's our question about these two superstars.
Can I ask a quick question on Wemby, though?
Of course.
Last night looked great, and not just great for him, but just for the team. And I feel like I was pretty high on the Spurs, maybe than most folks, but I think most folks still were expecting the Spurs to maybe be a fringe play-in team. Like, if he's going to be this good, like, when do the expectations come? Because as Perloff always mentions, he always talks about, like, we're ready, we set you up to tear you down. Are we now at the point where, like, the Spurs have to be a contender? Do the Spurs have to be a team that's a solid? Like, what is the expectation from them now that we've seen what they look like with Wemby in this new Super Saiyan form?
I say win a playoff series.
Okay.
Oh, I think it's more than that, especially if he can keep this up and we're going to watch these dunks and everyone's going to start passing all of his highlights and stuff around. I think the expectations are, I think it's probably 2 playoff series, maybe Western Conference Finals.
What are my odds to get him for MVP this season?
Probably minus 50,000 after last night. You probably get no value, but I have to look up.
No. I don't think it's that decided. I mean, listen.
Who's it going to be, Luka?
Yeah, I saw SGA in the fourth quarter yesterday when it counted.
We did this.
Luka, too. That's a good one.
We did this all. Luka could maybe because the Laker bump, but we talked about this for months last year. Shea just doesn't land the way that some other basketball players have landed. And by the way, that's not a crime, okay? People just aren't connecting with him. He's got the commercials. He's in with the Kardashians. He's doing all the things of the famous person playbook. It's not that. I just don't think he has like we go back to the Riz.
Right.
I just don't think that he's like going to become household
or
global like Wemby.
But you're talking about betting on the MVP. Shea won it last year without all that, and Jokic won it 3 times without all that.
Yeah, but there's something about Jokic where no, it's an unexpected package that you are getting maybe the greatest player in the NBA. No one's expecting him to be kind of slow, kind of dad bod, and kind of white and all that, or whatever. And I think that there's something about Shea that he's just awesome, but doesn't feel so different.
I totally disagree. When Jokic won his first MVP, I don't think anyone even knew him. It was Denver Nuggets basketball. And Shea won it last year, so I don't even know. The MVP is not the most popular player. That's just not how they do it. I mean, Giannis, by the way, was popular, but it wasn't like because Giannis is so popular, we're going to give him the MVP. Embiid, I mean, was Embiid capturing the hearts and minds?
Embiid is very popular. He is extremely out there. He's extremely. He is, dude. Like I
don't think so. I mean, if it's going to be a popularity contest, I think you're right about Luka and the Lakers. I mean, it's just I don't think the MVP is a popularity contest at all. Yeah.
To me, it's not even so much. I just think this is the thing, not about Shea with the MVP, because you obviously have to be playing at a ridiculous level. It's not just who's the most, interesting athlete or who's the most famous. But I do think there is something that people have not grabbed onto with Shea as far as a personality. And basketball is a very personality-driven kind of sport because they're not wearing helmets. We see them.
Oh, yeah.
There's only a few guys on the court. And I don't know if people are grabbing onto him in that way. By the way, again, not a crime. The guy's going to be one of the richest people ever. He's talented. He's already a champion. It doesn't mean people aren't respecting him. I'm talking about from like an advertisement Q rating thing.
Totally agree.
And he's in these ads, and I think that people still might not know. The casual fan might not grab onto it.
Yeah, but I think that, again, going back to MVP, he just won the MVP, and he didn't have any of that last year either. So I just think that we were talking about specifically MVP. Can Wemby put up the kind of numbers? Because if he had a lot of usage last night. If he is going to try and score 40 points every night, can he stay healthy? I wonder if the Spurs would be like, dude, you got to take it easy a little bit. Or I'm also still worried about injury. He is 7-7. So can he put up an MVP season? I'm seeing him third in odds.
Okay.
And that makes sense to me with SGA and Joker just barely above him.
Yeah, listen, Wemby had blood clots last year. I mean, it wasn't even like an injury you might associate necessarily with a big man. It's not ankles, feet, whatever, his back. This is going to be the big challenge for everyone with the Spurs right now, because EJ started this asking about expectations now for the Spurs. And it is going to be the challenge of a lifetime for Mitch Johnson, the head coach, and everyone associated with the Spurs. How do we keep him healthy? And there might not be a right answer to that, because he's doing something in a body type that we've never seen before.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. It's a high bar because I forgot about Joker. There's going to be multiple players with 30 points a game. Doncic will probably be 35, 12, and 10. They do stats. Remember, Russell Westbrook won it that year because of the triple doubles. But regardless of all that, Wemby's going to be the biggest star in the league. LeBron is going to be an afterthought this year. I'm being dead serious. Nobody's going to care.
And Wemby's going to have one thing over basically all the guys you're talking about is his defensive impact is 10 times that of those other players.
Definitely Jokic.
Yeah, definitely Jokic. Shai's a good defender, but he's not like that's not what he's known for.
He's the fifth best defender on that starting lineup.
Exactly. And Joker, not really a defensive player, right? Wembanyama is the best defensive player in the NBA. So when you're talking about MVP voting, that is something that's going to be considered as well. If he had not, missed the limit of games, he would have walked away with the easiest defensive player of the award ever last year. He only didn't get it because he didn't finish the season.
Well, you do have to get probably 50 wins or so to get even in the MVP conversation. So that's a factor too. Will San Antonio be good? I think so, based on last night. Stephon Castle, revelation. He looks just rock solid. He's a guy that EJ's been touting. What was he, number 2 pick?
4.
Dylan Harper, number 2 overall pick. I hate to say, he's got potential too. I don't even know if he gets to make an impact there, but he's there too.
He played well last night as well. Again, De'Aaron Fox, I don't know what you're dealing with, but you better get your ass on that team.
Wasn't it like, didn't he have
Finger
thumb
thing,
surgery
right? Yeah.
or something? A surgery on a finger? We all thought that was kind of just like BS so that the Spurs could just outright tank after Wemby had to go down.
He'll be at practice this morning.
I bet he will. Just looking at it. So Wemby is, this is 2 seasons, not even full. 71 games his rookie year, Pearl. 46 games last year, and then obviously 1 game last night. He already has 433 blocks.
That's a lot.
256 his first year, 176 last year, and 3 last night. 433 blocks in 2 years and 1 game. And not even a full 2. Basically a year and a half.
Meanwhile, poor Cooper Flagg trying to make a big splash.
Cooper Flagg Yeah. I was thinking about that. I'm like, you know what? There's already so much pressure on the number 1 overall pick, and you're from Duke, and you're like this guy from Maine, and all the Great White Hope stuff. Like, but maybe better for Cooper Flagg. Maybe go a little under the radar. Let Wemby have his time.
But you remember the big controversy about Dallas winning the lottery, and they're like, "Whoa, they got Cooper Flagg." I don't know, like, what was that controversy about? Oh, they got maybe the 3rd best player in this draft. I'm just saying, like, it just does not. I have to be honest, as much as I jumped on Wemby, I jumped off Cooper Flagg a little bit. Like, he's not going to be the immediate impact player that some might have thought in the offseason.
Well,
he's going to be a high-end role player as a rookie, I think.
Well, he shouldn't be playing point guard. I think we can all kind of agree on that. They're just waiting for Kyrie Irving to come back at some point, and I don't know when that's going to happen.
Yeah,
but
not this calendar year.
Even Jason Kidd couldn't coach up Cooper Flagg to be. He shouldn't be playing point guard. They're going to have to make a trade.
I don't know why he's doing this. Well, I know why he's doing this. He did this with Giannis when he coached the Bucks. He also had Giannis playing point guard. It kind of went similarly. Like, the Bucks weren't that great, and Giannis tried his best, but it did help Giannis' development because Giannis became a much better ball handler, a much better passer. The complete player he is now is part because he played point guard. I think this almost has nothing to do with really wins or losses. I think this is going to make Cooper Flagg a better player when he eventually becomes the engine of this team, which these other guys, we're talking about Anthony Davis, Kyrie, and Clay, these are older players. It's going to be Cooper Flagg's team in no time.
But I'll tell you one thing about Cooper Flagg. He did rebound well. Like, that's a good sign. And he doesn't look like he's physically scared of the NBA, even though he's still skinny. He's going to fill out a lot. It'll be nice to see him congratulating future Rookie of the Year, VJ Edgecombe.
Surprised it took this long to get to VJ.
Another guy you got to apologize to. How many times you come here and be like, "Oh, we got a VJ Edgecombe," and I'm like, "It'll be fine, bro."
Yeah, that's the Sixers. We'll
Play
talk about them another time.
Play the song.
Maybe not right now. 888-710. We got to go to break. 888-710-4476.
I'll sing it if you don't play it.
Do you even know the lyrics?
Yes, I do. Dr. J, everybody, Mo Cheeks, 76ers. Those are my lyrics.
When I think of this song, I think it must have been sung by people wearing overalls, like denim overalls.
The 70s.
Big afros, and
absolutely.
some kind of like high heel shoe.
You mean to tell me Benjamin Franklin did not write this song?
Have you ever heard? There's Casey Musgraves, the alt rock folk singer, does a version of it.
Yeah, I know she's a big Philadelphia
it's beautiful. No, she's not a Philadelphia sports fan. Her friend is, and she thought the song was so cool she wanted to cover it.
Oh, is that right?
Because it's got that 70s vibe. Yeah.
The knockoff group in Philadelphia called the Johnson Five did that.
You serious? Oh.
You serious, Clark?
Who wrote it?
I have no idea.
Honestly, if it wasn't written in 1978, I would think AI wrote it. Like, not Allen Iverson, like artificial intelligence, but I'm sure an actual person actually had to write things back then.
Who Who wrote all these
Bill Walsh wrote that.
Who wrote all these team-themed songs? Was there like a bunch of studio artists in L.A.? It was like, all right, guys, we got the 1987 Winnipeg Jets. What do you got? The guy gets on his bass. All right, feeling a little, we got a good goalie. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, it's an amazing, underappreciated fact of 80s sports that you had a theme song.
I think the answer is just John Tesh.
Yeah,
John
or
Tesh
John
wrote
Tesh.
them all. Round Ball Rock. He wrote the 49ers theme. He wrote the Sixers theme. He wrote the
Super Bowl Shuffle.
He wrote it all. It's quite a niche to be as like a musician. Like, what do you do? It's like, I write jingles for who? 80s sports teams.
Okay, Blue Jays, let's play ball.
This is all coming out of the same studio.
It's better when it's professional because when fans get together and come up with a song, it can go really awry.
Bryce gonna lose, and Manny's gonna cruise. Padres on the loose. Let's go, Goose. Slow down. That's what's in.
Honestly, that 49ers jingle is like Mozart compared to those dudes from San Diego.
They had their moment, Maggie.
888-710-4ISN. Okay, lots more to do, including the one question no one is talking about when it comes to the World Series, which starts tomorrow. Remember that? Maggie and Perloff.
Okay, Blue Jays, let's play ball.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. Maggie, I am all in on this World Series. It's my Dodgers against my Blue Jays. Two teams I've come to actually like, even though they're not the Phillies. I mean, they are lacking a theme song.
That's what's in.
Like the Padres.
It sounds like a threat. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or it sounds like
Padres
a challenge.
Let's go, Goose.
Yeah, I think as far as likability, it's clearly the Blue Jays, right? Like that, if you're a neutral fan, you're not going to like the Evil Empire Dodgers. You're going to like the home run jacket Blue Jays.
Yeah, and I also think that the Dodgers were the biggest World Series favorite going into the season since the 2002 New York Yankees, right?
Yep.
So now they're also a massive favorite in this series. I believe the last I saw was minus 210, something like that. For baseball, that is really extreme.
Okay.
And so I don't know. Yeah, if you're a lifelong Dodger fan, but how many people jump on a bandwagon of a favorite, right? I know that's technically what a bandwagon is, but like if you're going to get into this World Series, why not go for the clear underdog that also has some household names and some stars that you're going to recognize?
Yeah, and also it's a very fun team. I will say one thing: you have Shohei and the Dodgers.
I'm sorry, they're plus 275. Did I say minus? It was no, I'm sorry. It was plus 275 for the Dodgers before the season started.
Oh, which is okay.
Really short odds, and then they are minus 210 right now in this series. Just want to make sure I got that right.
People might root for Shohei. We all rooted for Michael Jordan and the Bulls in the 90s. I'm telling you, like me and all my friends, we were Sixers fans, but we wanted to see Michael Jordan. So maybe there are people who want to see Shohei do something unprecedented. That's very cool. And I don't think they're evil like the Yankees were.
Okay.
It's just because of the ownership. Like the Yankees had a whole lot going on that the Dodgers do not.
Oh, the fact that Magic Johnson is out there smiling means that they're not evil?
No, it's George Steinbrenner. I mean, yeah I know what you mean. Yeah. Okay. But George Steinbrenner and the Evil Empire had a different dynamic, the black uniforms. I think they were easier to hate than the Dodgers. The money is an issue, the deferred money as well.
Yeah, that's for people who are a little more maybe in the weeds about sports and whatever. But here's my one question about your Michael Jordan analogy. So you said that growing up, even though you didn't root for the Bulls necessarily, you wanted to see Michael Jordan do something awesome, and you were like a Jordan fan.
Yes, more people, if Jordan came to town, it's sold out, and you might be rooting for your own team, but you were definitely there to see Jordan.
Okay, where I think this is different with Shohei is that Jordan was playing with another, I think, all-time great player in Scottie Pippen.
Totally irrelevant, but go ahead.
Beyond that, Jordan was not playing with other MVPs. He was playing with other Hall of Famers, Dennis Rodman for the second three-peat. Obviously, Scottie was there the whole time. And Phil Jackson as the coach is a Hall of Famer. But Shohei has Mookie, and he has Clayton Kershaw, and who I know is not the same, but he has we talk about Freddie Freeman, and he has all these other guys who have won MVP around him. I think it makes it feel just too stacked. You know, I understand why you love Jordan. Jordan had Scotty as the running mate, and then Luke Longley. And you're
role players.
Role players who, and I'm not trying to disrespect these
guys. I get your point now. Okay.
I know that, that Paxton and Kerr and these guys hit huge shots to get, Tony Kukoc, to get Jordan there. But Shohei is playing on an all-star team. It's very different.
He's playing on the MLB Heatles. You're exactly right.
And
it's a super team.
That's not as likable when you're on the outside. You can still want to see Shohei do incredible things because baseball is more of an individual sport. But he's not. It's not Jordan leading the guys. Like Shohei is amongst some seriously great talent.
Yeah, he's on a dream team, and Jordan was the really engine of the dream team. But I think Shohei's so unique, he might even surpass that. Imagine
Freddie Freeman won World Series MVP last year. It wasn't even him because he was hurt, but.
I know what you mean, but and this is you more than me, like the pitching hitting combo. If we see Game 4 in the LCS in the World Series, that's going to get a lot of attention. That is Jordan like. I don't necessarily expect to see that, by the way. That might have been a one-off. To have 10 strikeouts and 3 home runs in a game, that if he does that again, forget it. It's going to be all Shohei. It won't matter how many MVPs are in the lineup. It won't matter about Mookie. All eyes will be on Shohei.
Asking you on X today, who will end up being the bigger global star, Victor Wembanyama or Shohei Ohtani? And how about even just the bigger star in America? You can answer that. Let's get to Bogusch, who's got the latest and greatest.
Guys, these headlines are sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Your small business keeps you on the go. Progressive Commercial Insurance keeps your policy within reach with our easy-to-use mobile app. Learn more at progressivecommercial.com. You guys will talk this morning about Inside the NBA making its ESPN debut last night. I think there are some people that say the best pre-post-game show on TV right now might be the CBS Sports Soccer crew of Kate Scott, Thierry Henry, Jamie Carragher, Clint Dempsey, Micah Richards. Yesterday, getting the soccer world set for Champions League action. The guys were dapping each other up during the show. And Kate reaches across the table to get a fist bump from Dempsey when...
My man. My top. Really? Yes. Can we get Emily in?
Now you know how it feels. Give us a stretch, Kate.
Anyways, so the blockbuster match tonight is in the Spanish capital, as you guys know. Playing Juventus. The old lady is one of 4 Italian teams in the Champions League this season. After the break, we're going to talk about Italian football, everybody, with an Italian, legend, Alessandro Del Piero. We'll be back.
All right, so as she's reaching,
wardrobe malfunction,
her top rips underneath her right armpit, which then sends the guys into even more cackling. And then she tries to throw to break like a pro, holding her shirt closed so that it covers all the things it needs to cover.
Bit lopsided, I think.
At the very end, one of the guys says, "Is that Gucci or Prada?" And then Clint Dempsey goes, "No, pay less." Ooh, about the shirt.
I like the shape of them.
Payless was a shoe company. No?
Yeah, no, that,
okay.
Also that.
All right, Megan Perloff show never had a wardrobe malfunction. I just want to point that out.
That's false.
Well, except for my Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
We were walking wardrobe malfunction. I'm sorry, you are a walking wardrobe malfunction in the month of October.
I got a week off to detox from your last wardrobe malfunction.
Not only owns shorts.
A paid leave from HR. Do we have
now
HR?
I gotta look at it. So
Yeah.
did you? Was it? It wasn't Janet Jackson level.
No,
obviously.
you did, there was no unfortunate for her embarrassing.
Oh, good.
Well, thankfully.
Showing.
Wait, can I ask a question?
But you can see the top just pop under her arm as she's reaching, and I think they cut away quickly. I think the camera crew knew what was going on, so they left for a second, and they came back, and she's literally just sitting there with her left hand holding her dress closed underneath her right arm while she's trying to throw it a break and preview a guest coming.
Bit lopsided, I think.
Is this really a well thought of pregame show? By the way,
It is, yeah.
Okay,
She's
that's not
amazing.
my world. But I mean, is it like Inside the NBA, where 5 minutes into their ESPN show, Charles and Shaq were debating whether you could call girls ugly on ESPN, and Shaq was.
Basically,
Is it like that?
Yeah, it's very refreshing. It's
that's so cool.
It's almost like British Shaq Kenny, Charles, and EJ.
Yeah.
Okay,
Great.
I just watched this.
Lopsided, I think.
This shirt just explodes.
Explodes, yes.
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't rip. A rip implies it's like something slow. This thing pops open.
I like the shape of them.
Comically so.
Yeah, it was like an exploding shirt.
Yeah.
Almost like it was rigged. And you don't want to mess with Kate Scott because Kate Scott's husband is.
Holy cow.
Oh my God, he must be 6'8" and just 235 pounds of just muscle.
He's a soccer player.
No, he's a boxer.
Yeah. But to Perloff's point, one of the guys made a joke one time about her and a different guy while she was dating this dude.
Yeah.
And like people thought that the guy was gonna die because this dude is so big and imposing. And I think he apologized to him face to face on TV after that.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Malik Scott.
Malik.
Yeah,
That's a
she
big
used
dude.
to be Kate Abdu. Now she's Kate Scott.
Now she's Kate Scott. You better get that right. Also, this show, I mean, they're unhinged. I mean, if you look at Michael Richards' Breast Lover, Brest, a soccer club in France,
right?
A lot of unhinged, borderline not good for the FCC, but it's Brest, and some of them just love Brest.
Yeah.
The French team, of course.
No, how could
Lopsided, I
anyone
think.
make any issue with that?
Kate Scott's husband looks like John Jones. I wouldn't want no piece.
Yeah, this
I
dude
think
with his
John
shirt
Jones
off.
looks like a regular person, and this dude's a Wemby in comparison. He's mammoth.
Yeah, he's huge.
Jones is big too, but yeah.
Love me some Kate
Is John
Scott.
Jones tall?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
he's
my
very
bad.
tall.
Yeah, John Jones probably
6'1", 6'2".
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, but this guy's bigger than that, isn't
I
he?
think so. I think Malik is probably pushing 6'4", 6'5".
You know, John Jones might be more like 6'4".
Yeah, I think
it's
so.
possible.
He's 6'4". I was
Yeah,
like, that's
he's
kind of
huge.
short.
My bad.
Also, he's quite skilled.
He towers over everybody he fights.
I mean, John Jones.
Is he going to fight at the White House? Did they say whether or not he's going to be on that card?
Who, Malik Scott?
Malik Scott versus John Jones, Maggie. That's the main event. You didn't hear.
I don't know. In this day and age, with all this crossover boxing matches, it literally could be anyone versus
He
anyone.
did a face-off yesterday with Ryan Garcia, and I'm like, what are we doing?
John Jones did?
Yeah,
Why?
like they were facing off on some like racetrack.
Guys, Mike Tyson's fighting Floyd Mayweather allegedly. Isn't that what we're getting?
No.
Yeah, no, that's what's happening.
No.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, my God.
I mean, it's never going to happen.
Just tell me when and where I'm watching.
I mean, Maggie said that
that's
Jake
the
Paul
end,
wasn't going
right?
to happen, and it did. So this, I think, they're going to cash some checks.
I did not think that Tyson was going to get to that Jake Paul fight.
Coming up next, Mike Tyson fights Muhammad Ali.
And good news, everybody, we got to see
hologram.
Mike Tyson's ass because of it.
So John Jones retired, right? That was like a thing.
He retires and unretires and
Yeah.
comes back. Right now, he's not playing.
He's like the
not
Undertaker.
fighting.
You remember? Yes, we saw Mike Tyson bare butt because of Netflix's behind-the-scenes cameras.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you for
did.
reminding us about
It wasn't
that.
even behind the
those scenes.
scenes. He just did an interview and turned around.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, the
the
interview with his
pre-match.
son, right? Wasn't it? Or somebody's kid.
No, it was the pre-match, like in
Yeah.
the locker room.
It was
He
a pre-match interview.
He
He
just
did
had his jock on, his jock
Right,
strap.
yeah, he
and that's
only
it.
was wearing his jock strap. He turned around and walked away, and it's just a full moon.
By the way, speaking of those kind of shots, did you see on the aforementioned Inside the NBA last night?
Legacy doesn't mean nothing.
They're doing that classic thing where Kenny the Jet Smith like runs to the runs to the board, runs to the screen to at halftime, and Shaq they're trying to walk race, and Shaq I think pretends to fall, but just stays bent over for a serious amount of time, and then the camera's just on his gigantic rear end.
Supposed to be 1, 2, 3, not 1, 2, back to 1.
Charles lost some weight, too. That was a big narrative last night.
He looks as skinny as Kenny.
Yeah.
They got sitting there to Gavison with that dirty ass water.
Vitamin O, man. Ozempic.
Sorry, I know we have more stories to get to. Charles, about face on ESPN now. He's like Mr. ESPN. What happened there, Maggie?
What do you think happened, Pearl? An extra zero on the end of that. It's like, it was always our dream to be on ESPN. It's like, that's not what you said to Dan Patrick about 3 weeks ago. But
It wasn't a dream. It really happened.
Yes, Pearl, there are other things. I will not let you enjoy Victor Wembanyama, but you can have this.
Whoa! Etchko rears back and dunks it. There's the wow factor, and the Boston fans are like, man.
Tom McGinnis.
When a guy's banging you.
On Sixers Radio, VJ Edgecombe.
Oh, thank you.
That dunk, 34 points, the most in a rookie debut since Wilt in 1959.
Oh, my God.
Sixers sneaking out of Boston 117, 116.
The most for a Sixer.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yes, my bad. Wemby had 40 points, 15 rebounds, 3 blocks. The Spurs rolled through Dallas on opening night, 125-92. Cooper Flagg had 10 points, 10 boards in his debut. The Suns are racing a 17-point halftime hole, beat the Kings on their opening night, 120-116. Giannis with 37 and 14. Bucks hammer the Wizards, 133-120. And the Bulls gave away a 23-point lead before beating Detroit, 115-111. And this will definitely go well. The NCAA will allow athletes and athletic department staffers to bet on pro sports starting November 1st.
Awesome.
Lovely.
What could go wrong? It's like, hey, you got all this money now? Maybe we introduce you to
I hit my parlay.
a 5-team parlay, 5-game parlay.
Well, you got plenty of former teammates who are probably in the pros that you probably have a good relationship with and probably talk to. What could go wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Happy holidays from the Philadelphia 76ers.
Whose voice was that?
That was
Charles
a young
Barkley.
Chuck.
That was a young Charles Barkley? Oh, my
Happy
God.
holidays from the Philadelphia 76ers.
Happy holidays from the Philadelphia 76ers.
Wait, and let me go back for
holidays from the Philadelphia 76ers.
your guy. It's not just Sixers. It's the third most points. It's the most points in the debut since Will, period.
Yeah, I was actually wondering that.
Yeah,
Because
not
34 is
history.
a ton for the debut. But I don't, is he, our former boss, Spike Eskin, was, is a big Sixers guy, has a Sixers podcast. He was putting out on X. I am absolutely shocked by how good VJ Edgecombe is. So now EJ was trying to sell me on this guy. Like, do I have to buy an Edgecombe jersey? I think I do.
You know you're gonna.
Yeah, I mean,
True.
Yeah,
And then hate him, and then love him, and then hate him, and then love him.
But I like to get on. I like when the bandwagon starts to heat up. I just, I can't resist.
No, it's too much for you. It's your kryptonite.
Bandwagon's too empty right now for Perloff.
Catnip. I mean, at least you get a Sixers young player who's actually playing in his rookie season.
Yeah, fair.
Most guys, it was delayed for a couple years because of weird injuries. Okay, we got to take a break. Bogusch, thank you so much. We'll be back in just moments because we have a quarterback versus an owner showdown. Don't get those every day. Maggie and Perloff Show.
Bit lopsided, I think.
You're in a 5-minute break.
I didn't see anything from Billy here.
1 minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back to the Maggie and Perloff Show. Got some breaking news for you. This one's not good. Terry Rozier, Scary Terry, plays for the Miami Heat now, Perloff. He was arrested this morning as part of an FBI sports betting gambling probe, according to Shams Charania. FBI Director Kash Patel is going to hold a press conference at 10 a.m. to announce the arrest from an investigation. Now, if you've been paying attention, there's been some drips and drabs about this with Terry Rozier being implicated, and partly it's because a game from 2023, a sports bettor, a gambler, and went to a sports book at Biloxi, Mississippi, and placed over $13,000 worth of bets, all on unders on Terry Rozier statistics in a game that night between Charlotte and New Orleans. All the bets won. All 30 bets won because Rozier played 10 minutes and then exited with a foot issue. That's not good. I wouldn't want to be Terry Rozier right now.
Yeah, it sounds like they have. I assume there's some connection they can prove between Rozier and the bettor. I mean, wouldn't you have to have that to finalize some kind of prosecution?
Yeah, this is basically the Jonte Porter thing, but seemingly to a larger degree and with a much more famous player, right? Jonte Porter was Michael Porter's brother who was playing for the Raptors, and a couple guys won a couple grand on unders when he said he had stomach issues.
Yeah,
tummy troubles.
I don't know if he's a much more famous player.
Scary Terry was on one of those Celtics teams. Was he on the Celtics team that won the title? No, but he was on one of those really good Celtics teams.
For a couple of them that went to the conference finals.
There we go. So here's another thing I find really interesting.
I would say the fame level, when you said Rozier, I was like, you mean the former Nebraska Heisman Trophy winning running back? Terry Rozier is not front of mind right now. He's been put on the back burner, to be fair.
Well, you know what? He's about to get a whole lot more famous.
Exactly.
But infamous, I guess, not to make light of it. But what's weird about this, so this game, I think, is what's at the crux of this gambling, I think. But we'll get more details, obviously, from FBI Director Kash Patel later on. But the fact is, somebody bet on 30 different under bets for Terry Rozier in 2023, Pearl. All 30 of them cashed because he left the game with a foot injury. The NBA did an investigation and found nothing unusual.
They had already bid on this.
And NBA investigations must be the biggest bunch of Keystone cops alive. I mean, do you think anything's going to happen to Steve Ballmer now that Pablo Torre has him dead to rights about circumventing the salary cap? Probably nothing with all that Kawhi stuff. I don't really know if I trust an NBA investigation is what I'm getting at, considering Terry Rozier was arrested this morning.
Sounds like an old NFL investigation.
Yeah, like just a bunch of blank documents. I don't know.
It's funny. I don't know why Kash Patel is having a press conference because I hate to say it, this is not that surprising. This is now we're getting, I don't want to say used to it, but we've had a few of these scandals, and I think we're just going to have a lot more. And there's probably 50 we have no idea about.
Yeah, Malik Beasley was the other one. Did he recently get cleared, though, by somebody? Here's the thing. Like, yeah, I think it's probably this is an easy win maybe for the FBI.
Yeah.
Like they feel like, they can score some points here with a famous person. People do this all the time, no matter what administration. You want to just score like some easy political points, even though the FBI is not supposed to be political. But
if this is happening with $1 million NBA players, what's happening in college, too?
I mean, we've seen the scandals. We've seen Iowa State. We had the Alabama baseball coach. I mean, we've seen a lot of issues with people, manipulating or betting on. Terry Rozier didn't seem like he bet on himself, but it looks to be that he manipulated the outcome to help someone cash these unders.
Well, remember, you mentioned Jonte Porter, who was Michael Porter Jr.'s brother. Michael Porter actually talked about this over the summer, about the temptation and why players may want to do this kind of thing. We had that sound from a podcast this summer.
There you go.
You get mad at these dudes that do the sports betting, but think about if you could get all your homies rich by telling them, yo, bet $10,000 on my under, this one game I'm gonna act like I got an injury and I'm gonna sit out. I'm gonna come out after 3 minutes, and they all get a little bag because you did it one game. Like, that is so not okay. But some people probably think like that.
I remember when he said that.
I mean, I'm not defending him for saying that, but I'm saying it's so easy. That's a great point. Like, it doesn't take a mastermind to help out your friends with this. Just pretend an injury.
Yeah, but I got to be honest, and these aren't people who are your real friends with your real best interest in mind. Because if a friend is asking you, hey, I need $10,000, can you pretend to have diarrhea and jeopardize your career? That's not really your friend.
Because you're saying diarrhea is embarrassing.
It is, Pearl.
I'm saying it's easily treatable with a little Imodium AD. No,
I don't know. You come out of the locker room with different underwear. Everyone's going to laugh at you on Twitter.
No, I'm saying that, you know what I'm saying. I think there's a lot of times where people, have to leave certain people behind when they get really rich and famous. And I'm sure that's painful. But anyone who has your best interest in heart is not asking you to help them out by cashing an under. I always thought it was more like blackmail.
Well, Maggie, we know so much about famous people and people asking them for things.
Oh my gosh.
Family members, I mean.
Everyone's got a handout. I get it.
It's not just sports, it's actors. It's like, famous people and rich people have people asking them for things. And I don't think it's as easy to let go of those people as you were saying.
I'm not saying that, but you can help people in a variety of ways. You don't have to manipulate a gambling, essentially put your entire career in jeopardy to do it.
It's better than giving your own money. What strikes me is how in that soundbite is how easy it is to do, and how easy this was for Terry Rozier, apparently, or
allegedly.
Are we just sure that guy's like, man, Terry Rozier looks off tonight? I'm gonna keep on betting that. That crossed my mind. I mean, I'm sure that's what the NBA said. Like, how do we know this better just didn't make legitimate bets?
Yeah,
that's what the argument's going to be, at least.
I got $13,000 lying around. I think I'm just going to randomly, what do I want to put it on? How about every Terry Rozier under?
Yeah.
In this random game in March.
Yeah, it's like pick just a player that you would never think to highlight. It's like, I think Kentavious Caldwell-Pope looks a little shaky tonight from 3. Let's put 17,000 against his total.
Think about it. How there will be people who brag about winning bets on social media. If you really had no inside information whatsoever and you took $13,000 and bet on all Terry Rozier unders and then he leaves the game after 10 minutes, wouldn't you be celebrating this like you just cashed the biggest underdog ticket of all time?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that we would find that. It's also only $13,000. That's
only? That's a lot to me.
To you, but in betting scandal terms, that's nothing.
Fair. Ipe Mizrahi, the Shohei's interpreter, put $17 million?
Shohei's interpreter put that money on it, huh?
Zahara.
Zahara. I knew I got that wrong.
Yeah.
That story.
A lot of people saying Sacred Heart has diarrhea. Okay, we apologize for our crowd, Mike.
By the way, back to Shohei, talking about a betting scandal that a league looked at and moved on pretty quickly. No, it was the interpreter. We're good. Play ball.
Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah. Please disperse.
It was that guy and only that guy. Maggie and Pearl, Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
That's going to be the matchup of the NFL weekend. Aaron Rodgers facing his former team, the Green Bay Packers. Now as a member of the Steelers. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. And Pearl, I just will never believe that Aaron Rodgers doesn't have a little something extra on this game as far as juice and as far as motivation. Not that he needs it, but anyone who says that they don't want to beat a team that told them thanks, we're moving on from you, is completely lying. And Aaron Rodgers, to me, is somebody who keeps a file folder. Remember we used to have those back in the day, like a file of facts? A file folder of slights, grudges, and everyone who ever said one negative thing about him permanently
I live kind of a quiet life.
permanently gets stored in the hard drive of Aaron Rodgers' brain. So the fact that the Packers did move on, even if logically he can understand why, because he was in the same position years earlier when they moved on from Favre, you can't tell me this is just a regular game or this is more about nostalgia than it is about revenge. I'm sorry, Aaron Rodgers. We have way too much public documentation of how petty you are.
Yeah, I mean, you know how he can read a defense? He can read you and decide what he doesn't like about you immediately. We're being a little harsh on Aaron Rodgers, but there's evidence. Obviously, you start with the fact that he doesn't speak to his parents. In the Netflix special Enigma, he takes things personal, as he should sometimes. I mean, listen, who knows? I'm not taking sides. The parents might have done something egregious. I just think that he's so mad at the Jets still that the Packers thing feels like distant memory. I really don't think he has the heat on his Packers animosity.
Yeah, okay, so after Rodgers beat the Jets in the season openers, he said, I wanted to beat everyone associated with the Jets. The guy was there for like a cup of coffee. I mean, when all's said and done, no one's even going to really remember Rodgers' air quotes era in New York. Now, listen, the Jets have a way of making things really bad, from bad to worse. So I'll give them that. And maybe there was, but you were telling me you had 18 years at a place, you won a Super Bowl together, you have all these memories, both good and bad, and the team moves on from you and for a younger version, and you're not going to hold a grudge at all. Rodgers himself said he wanted to ride off into the sunset as a Super Bowl champion with the Packers, but he knew that wasn't going to happen the moment they drafted Jordan Love.
But then he went on to win 2 MVPs.
I know.
How did he not?
He held him off.
Yeah. Again, I just think spend 2 years in Florham Park and then let's talk. Because I think he learned to respect what was happening in Green Bay more by being in another organization. Because I think Green Bay is a pretty special place, to be honest. I mean, I think that resentment does fade, even for Aaron Rodgers, because we saw it with Favre. Favre and the Packers had a lot of heat. Their ending was bad. Even worse than Rodgers. So I think that right now, Aaron Rodgers, I could be totally wrong. I think the positive is outweighing the negative. I really do think that he has good feelings about this team.
Well, as far as the location of the game, maybe that plays into it a tiny bit because the game's going to be in Pittsburgh, not in Lambeau. Here's Rodgers himself saying that it would have felt more significant had it been in Wisconsin.
Again, it would feel different if it was going back to Green Bay. But I have a lot of love for the organization. But, if we were playing in Lambeau, that would be a little different feeling for sure.
Yeah, you can understand it. More from Rodgers, Manny. Can I hear cut 8? Said he wishes that things had ended differently with the Packers, but the writing was on the wall when Jordan Love was selected in the draft.
Obviously, we would love to ride off in the sunset after a Super Bowl win, but that's not the way the league goes sometimes. And, I knew the writing was on the wall when Jordan was picked. And as a matter of time, I happened to win MVP the first 2 years he was with us. But I knew at some point there would be a change, and if I wanted to play, it'd probably have to be elsewhere. So I understand the situation. We live and we learn, and I have nothing but love and appreciation for the fan base, for the city of Green Bay.
See, he even sneaks in the 2 MVPs in that response. Like, if you don't think that Rodgers is trying to destroy his former team, even if there's not a lot of the same guys who played on the team, I don't think it's about the players. The same front office is there, and that's what I think he's really getting at. And I think Mike Tomlin's going to be right there alongside with them, helping him on this mission. Obviously, they need to win a game and rebound from losing to Joe Flacco and the Bengals last week.
Happened to win MVP the first 2 years he was with us.
I mean, you let Flacco throw for 342 yards on you. Clearly, Tomlin should have his hands full this week. Game planning for Jordan Love now, but Tomlin is also a guy that we know now because Russell Wilson, of all people, kind of let it slip. He will give out a petty game ball to somebody who's got a little extra motivation on a game. So they're both going to be in concert here, and I think this is all about Rodgers versus the Packers.
If you're watching on YouTube, on Infinity Sports Radio Network YouTube page, when Rodgers was speaking, you were just ever so subtly shaking your head as if I just don't think you buy Aaron Rodgers, which is I get it. Maybe I'm an optimist. Maybe I'm totally naive. I just can't really see him holding that serious of a grudge against Green Bay. I just don't. I don't know why. He did win those 2 MVPs, so it didn't go out in a failure. You know what? He was a success when he left Green Bay. And I know the last season didn't go perfectly, but I think that he views the way he got out of there in an okay way. I just don't think it was. I remember when Favre left, like, he really didn't want to leave, even more than Rodgers. He was such a wishy-washy guy at that point. He kept retiring and unretiring. But I feel like Favre went to Minnesota specifically to stick it to Green Bay. I don't feel like Rodgers is quite as intent as Favre. That doesn't mean you're not absolutely right, and he is going to throw a couple jabs after the game if they win. But for Favre, it got really, really personal. So Aaron is completely unpredictable as well. He's also an enigma, as they say.
Yeah, well, he enjoys being an enigma. You know, what's funny about that is, so they won the Super Bowl in 2010, obviously beat the Steelers, but you're saying that Aaron Rodgers left on a successful high note because of the 2 MVPs.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I don't know if Packer fans look at it that way, because you had home playoff games and you fell short. I mean, beating teams that, quite frankly, like, you were favored in these games, you know, to not take advantage of what should be a home field with sub-zero temperatures in Lambeau and let the San Francisco 49ers come in and beat you.
I mean, well, first of all,
Tom Brady come in and beat you.
That was not on Rodgers. That was a ridiculous game. I mean,
That's
that
fine.
was all. I mean, that was special teams and weirdness.
Okay, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, you barely scored any points in these
Yeah,
games. You have an all-time quarterback with you. I just don't know if the end of the Rodgers era is seen as successful just because it was for Rodgers. You know, there's a criticism of that entire Packers, you know, the second part of his career where you're having 13-win season after 13-win season, and you never even got back to the Super Bowl. Like, again, to much is given much is expected, whatever that line is from Spider-Man, I think that Rodgers is held to a very high bar and never even got back to the Super Bowl. Like, I'm not saying it's a total failure, but I think there feels like there was a lot of meat left on the bone here for the Rodgers Packers, you know, at least, you know, from 2019 on.
Yeah, but those are all facts, and it's absolutely true. But when you look back on things, years...
Or 2015 on, I should say.
I just think legacies improve. Nobody's going to look back at Drew Brees as Saints and say that was... in the moment, it's very disappointing. They should have gotten back to the Super Bowl in 2018, but Drew Brees is going to forever be a god in New Orleans. I think you tend to look back in a very positive way after time. I don't think people are going to look at Rodgers as disappointing.
No, but this is the difference between the New Orleans Saints and the Green Bay Packers. One place is called Titletown, and the other place is the New Orleans Aints.
But yeah,
for many years, that title was a catharsis for an entire city.
Yeah.
You play in Green Bay, you're expected to
Wisconsin.
win.
It's Wisconsin. First of all, they're super nice. It's not the East Coast and a bunch of jerks in New York, Washington, and Philly. I think they definitely skew positive. Go, Pack, go! I mean, they're like, you know, if you want to go have some cheese curds and a beer, you're back in the family.
Well, that's fine, but, you know, it's beyond just the Packers fan base, because you can appreciate Rodgers, but also there's like a global fan base of a guy who, when Rodgers is all said and done, could be literally on the Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks ever. Like, he is that good as far as skill is concerned.
Probably the fourth spot.
Whatever, but like the fact he's even in the conversation, and to make it to one Super Bowl and win one. I'm not trying to be that ring culture person, but maybe I'm being that ring culture person.
I mean, listen, back of envelope, Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, and Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers are Dan Marino. Oh man, now you got me sidetracked.
888-710-4ISN. Yeah.
I do really believe this. I'm not just saying this to argue with you. In 15 years, I think Packers fans will forget the pettiness and the back and forth, and they're going to appreciate Rodgers because I see it with Favre. I mean, you know, I know about the scandals and stuff.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like the Packers fans look back on the Favre era with any negativity. I think they look back on it as a great time.
888-710-4ISN. Poll question for you. What ended worse, Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay or Aaron Rodgers in New York? Now, New York is winning overwhelmingly here, but I think people are forgetting just how petty it got at the end of the Green Bay era.
It wasn't really, though. I mean, we're talking about like bad cell phone service. I think the difference was that Rodgers was giving off a message, I want out of Green Bay as well. I think that was part of it. And I think he did. I think he wanted to go to Broadway. I think he wanted to be in a big city. I don't think that was just the Packers. Rodgers was talking about leaving a lot that offseason.
Well, then clearly the guy's not as smart as we think he is, because anyone who would actually seek out the New York Jets is got to have their head examined. Sorry,
I said,
EJ.
you don't know me. And he said, you don't know me. And then I said, exactly.
Thanks for that, Maggie.
I'm sorry, EJ. We have more evidence, by the way, of just how broken the Jets are because
Exactly.
Woody Johnson couldn't help himself talking about his quarterback. We'll get to that in just a moment. Another poll question up there for you. And this is switching gears a little bit away from the NFL. Who will end up being the bigger star, Shohei Ohtani or Victor Wembanyama? Wemby was phenomenal last night in his season debut. He's added so much to his arsenal. He got so much better. And he was going at Anthony Davis, who's one of the best defenders in the league, and it was barbecue chicken. So, this is different. And while the NFL and college football will always get the most eyeballs in this country, the biggest stars that we have in sports right now are for Major League Baseball and basketball.
Yes and no. I mean, I'm not sure I totally agree with that because I watch commercials. There are a lot of football players on there. Travis Kelce is no small thing. Patrick Mahomes is no small thing. Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers. Like, these guys are big stars.
Travis got a little bit of an assist here from the world's biggest pop star.
I'm just saying, in America, you could say that. It is absolutely true. You're right, on its face. But let's not say that the NFL players are not getting visibility. Heck, Aiden Hutchinson is probably the 25th biggest name in the NFL, and he's got 6 national commercials. So it's not like the NFL guys are big. It's just a different dynamic. In baseball and basketball, you can pop more as an individual. I see what you're saying. But also, I mean, LeBron is still the biggest star. I just think Wemby's next.
They have commercials for backup quarterbacks now.
Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater is giving relationship advice.
Tommy DeVito is out there impersonating children for a family photo.
Jimmy G's got Subway.
The backup quarterback commercials are just genius.
Josh Dobbs. He's in one of those commercials.
Jacoby Brissett does your taxes in one of those commercials. But
it's just a great campaign.
Yeah, I keep saying to Maggie, the one that why is Aiden Hutchinson in every single ad? What is this guy's agent doing?
Working hard. Rich is in California. What's up, Rich?
I think the problem with Shohei as opposed to Wembanyama is you get the distinct impression that MLB has got their thumb on the scale, and they don't really need to have that thumb on the scale. You got the Shohei rule, which allows him to hit after he's pitched, to become a DH. You have the scandal, whether he was, whether he wasn't. You have the wage deferment. It just seems to be that I get it. They want to show him off, and that's great. You're not going to find a talent like him very long. Or every day. But really, guys, can we just let him go and play? That's why I think nobody's running a special rule for him. There's no Bryce Harper rule. It just seems that, it's not necessarily the same thing.
Rich, it's a really good point, and I think you articulated it really well, that baseball has a hand on the scale for Ohtani that feels almost like a competitive advantage where they don't need to give him one. He's already at an advantage. Yeah. The only thing about that is why the Angels? Now, I know that had to do with posting, and you come from Japan, and it's a very different negotiation.
Big market still.
But the Angels, it's like the Clippers. It's like the Nets. They're the second team in a big market.
Yeah.
If they really wanted the hand on the scale, it would be going to New York. The Yankees, not the Mets.
No, I think that the Yankees and Mets you could argue, are already going to be big without Shohei. They don't need the Yankees to have Shohei. They probably said, we have this potential high value team in Anaheim. Like, the Clippers are worth a ton of money because look at what happened to the Chargers when they moved to LA. Their franchise value quadrupled. So I think that there was more value bringing him to Anaheim. But by the way, you know how the league is tipping the scales for Shohei. They'll do it in their own way for the NBA. They're not going to let you get physical with Wemby because they're going to protect just like the NFL does with Mahomes. They're not going to let you hit Wemby. So they know what they have. Trust me. Watch the way he's officiated. The league office is like, wow, we got the star. And the other thing, too, is you can have a star anywhere because we know Mahomes is in Kansas City. Wemby's in San Antonio. That's not where you would put your big star.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You know, I'm someone who certainly believes, as far as hand on the scales, that the NBA does have some influence on the draft.
Of course.
The envelope was not frozen.
Well, that's just was so genius at the time, but you'd never get away with it now. Now they have to basically throw all these numbers at you and ping pong balls and how complicated it is just to distract everyone so their eyes glaze over.
Now they need AI to fix the lottery.
Not Allen Iverson. He already was number one.
Yeah. No, they already fixed it for AI to go to Philly.
I get an assist for giving EJ a layup on that one.
888-710-4ISN.
We're talking about practice.
710-4476. Coming up next, you're welcome, Twin. Shohei, Wemby, who will be the bigger star? And does there something that feels like, I guess, a little bit weird about Shohei, right? About baseball bending over backwards? Is that the way that Rich in California kind of put it? Putting their thumb on the scales to make sure that this guy is the face of their league without any interruption?
Yeah, I don't think it's any different than the other stars.
888-710-4ISN. Okay, Maggie and Perloff, King of the Mountain Project comes your way next. We are finding the greatest NFL team of all time. Who faces off against this week's champ, the 1984 San Francisco 49ers? We'll answer that next. M&P.
Practice?
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Who is the king of the mountain? Maggie and Perloff search for the greatest NFL team of all time.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. We have a dynasty on our hands, at least so far, trying to find the best NFL team of all time, King of the Mountain. New winner every week. If you win, you stay on. And the 84 Niners have stayed on, Maggie. For how long has it been now?
This is 5 weeks.
5 weeks. Wow.
The 84 Niners first took out the 72 undefeated Dolphins, and then it's just been a buzzsaw since then. Everyone from the 77 Cowboys to the 86 New York Giants to the 83 Raiders. The 49ers have vanquished all of them. The greatest show on turf. That wasn't even close. The Twitter poll, the X poll, whatever, it was a landslide. So today we have a new challenger for the 84 49ers. First, as you'll recall, that was the year that Joe Montana, Bill Walsh beat Dan Marino and the Miami Dolphins 38-16 in the Super Bowl. They had a regular season record of 15-1. They had 5 Hall of Famers, including 3 players. And they were the first team in NFL history to win 15 games in a 16-game regular season. So that was the 84 Niners, plus an all-time song.
Sort of.
Which has been in my head for the last 5 weeks since we learned the song existed. Today, the 49ers take on a little bit. Oh, you have some Niners clips?
Dan Marino's year turned into Joe Montana's day. And the San Francisco 49ers became the first team in NFL history to win 18 games in a single season. They were not only champions of the world, but masters of the game.
We're just not writing copy like that anymore. We're just not. Meanwhile, the 49ers, Pearl, now have a new challenger this week for the King of the Mountain. The 2013 Seattle Seahawks.
Look at that! That is old 14. The ball goes into the end zone. The safety, the Seahawks are on the board on the first snap of the game.
This is 12 man. They could hear him all the way out here in the Northwest.
We didn't really think it was that loud. I mean, compared to our stadium, our fans made more of a statement than we did, the press. They look on paper and say, oh, yeah, he's got a lot of yards and a lot of touchdowns. Oh, Cam Chancellor. Oh, he's really big. Oh, he probably can't stop him. You're not paying attention.
That was from America's Game, and that first highlight was a Super Bowl, Pearl, that you and I were both at, which was the first fumble, basically snap over the head, Peyton Manning. Game started with a safety, and the Seahawks were off to the races from there. It was just an absolute whitewashing of a Super Bowl. Everyone had written their stories and everything by halftime. The score was 42-8.
Well, 43-8.
43-8, pardon me.
Yeah. It was that That's the worst Super Bowl ever. I mean, and no offense to the Seahawks. That was the most boring Seahawks. It was over. The second that snap went over Peyton's head, it's like, all right, what are we doing here? Well, I would have looked at the train schedule if I was allowed.
No, we had to stay to the bitter end. We were working for Sports Illustrated at the time. 13-3 record, obviously. Pete Carroll is the coach. We don't have Hall of Famers necessarily yet, but the first team All-Pros that year were Earl Thomas and Richard Sherman. The defense, the Legion of Boom, number 1 in points allowed, number 1 total yards allowed, first in takeaways. It was the first defense since the 85 Bears to lead the NFL in scoring defense, yards allowed, and takeaways.
Wow, I didn't know they were historical like the 85 Bears.
Absolutely. This was like an unbelievable defense. And
a complimentary offense.
Yeah, and it was like a, great story of Russell Wilson. Unless we have to think back at the time. He was a, undersized, late-round draft pick who had been given up by, had an interesting college journey, and beat out, a high-priced free agent quarterback to even win the job. And then this was his ascension into NFL superstardom.
Yeah, and if you see Russell Wilson play late career like the Giants, this is a different player. He was... When he needed it, he had jets. He could get a key first down at any time with his legs. That was his superpower. And he had this deep pass ability, the Russell Wilson moonball. So I think his legacy has taken some hits lately, but he was great, and obviously Marshawn.
Of Seattle's 13 wins that season, they went 13-3. 8 of them were decided by 11 points or more. There were 8 instances that season where the Seahawks allowed 2 touchdowns or less. The Seahawks allowed 14 points a game that year in the regular season. I mean, the defense was everything and more.
And had a nickname, that's the thing. Usually defenses had nicknames in the 70s and the 80s, like Doomsday D, Purple People Eaters, things like that. The fact we don't get a lot of them anymore, and the fact that we had the Legion of Boom makes it even more awesome.
Yeah, that's true.
The other day.
And big personalities, too. Obviously, Richard Sherman, number 1.
The other day, who was the team who had all their back? Oh, the Detroit Lions had all backup defensive backs, and people were calling them the Legion of Who? Like Legion of Doom Legion of Boom has definitely lasted. By the way, that clip, Cam Chancellor was the scariest one of them all. I mean, if I was an NFL wide receiver and Cam Chancellor was floating around back there, I would have called in sick. I would have had turf toe. I would have had diarrhea, as we said earlier in the show, when you need to get out of a game. They were all great players. Earl Thomas was a great player, but Cam Chancellor was the hammer.
A lot of people saying Sacred Heart has diarrhea.
Okay, we apologize for our crowd, Mike.
Aw, Michael Crabtree. Oh, gosh. Is
by
this
the way,
team better than the 84 team, though?
All that being said, the 84 team, if you're objective and you don't have recency bias, in my opinion, was still greater, because the thing about the 84 team was they had a revolutionary offense and they had a hard-nosed defense as well.
So
my quesadilla.
The offensive stats for that 2013 Seahawks, that Legion of Boom year, 8th in scoring, 4th in rushing yards, 10th in passing yards.
Chicken, cheese, guac, but they forgot my pico de gallo.
You get extra points for Marshawn Lynch just being on the team.
I have a random question about the Seahawks. Have they watered down their legacy by Richard Sherman going after Russell Wilson almost as a profession? Have they, because that is a team that should have won more Super Bowls, and they broke apart in part because of egos and infighting. Does that make them maybe even less spectacular than they actually were? Or does that help them because they were like the 85 Bears, a one Super Bowl team that was just dominant? I'm not sure if Richard Sherman is doing any favors for the Seahawks legacy.
I think what he's trying to do is not saying that it was egos and infighting from the defense. I think what he's trying to say it was egos and infighting because they wanted, his allegation, right, that they wanted Russ to be even bigger star.
Yeah.
Or that there was favoritism or whatever. And I think it was just because of that horrible play. I think it was that interception. I think that there's some people, we talk to athletes all the time. What do you remember most, the wins or the losses? And a lot of times they say the losses far outweigh the wins. And I think the human embodiment of that is Richard Sherman, because we hear him talking about the failures of the Seahawks so much more often than we hear him talk about the success.
Right. Well, that's my point. That if, say, Richard Sherman was going to try and make a case in this debate, the 84 Niners versus the 2013 Seahawks, he'd be like, well, you got to go with the 84 Niners because our quarterback stunk. You know, I like it. He hasn't really been advocating for the legacy of this team in a sense.
Interesting.
I mean, I think the Niners probably win this poll, although I do think the more recent teams are going to have a good chance to knock them out, but partly because Russell Wilson's legacy has taken so many hits, both inside and out.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. There you go. Put the poll question up for you. Who moves on? Will it be the 84 49ers to remain the king of the mountain, or do the 2013 Seahawks take them out?
Yeah. Ronnie Lott, by the way, could have played on both teams. People forget. San Francisco had a one-man Legion of Boom. That dude was amazing. I mean, cut off his pinky to play. The toughest man in the history of the NFL.
Let's get to Andrew Bogish. Some say the toughest man in the sports talk radio industry.
Yeah. Some say.
My mom is a nice
that.
lady.
Yeah.
We've already had Terry Rozier, but he is apparently not the only name of significance this morning. NBC News just reported that Chauncey Billups, the sitting head coach of the Portland Trailblazers, also arrested this morning.
What?
In connection to this federal investigation into sports gambling. The first name we got was Rozier, who was with the Heat in Orlando, didn't play in their opener there last night, but was arrested in town this morning. This all connects back to former Raptors center Jontay Porter. I have no other Billups details, but with Rozier, as you guys have pointed out, there was at least one instance back in March of 2023 where suspicious betting was flagged on a lot of his prop bets in a game that he ended up exiting after 10 minutes with alleged foot pain. There is a press conference with law enforcement agencies at roughly 10 a.m. Eastern this morning. So this might be the one. Like, we've been waiting for the real, like, significant, like...
The game changer.
The game changer.
Wow.
This might be it.
Chauncey Billups.
Chauncey Billups.
Gives a new meaning to Mr. Big Shot.
Yep. A sitting NBA head coach.
That was good.
So, Trailblazers lost last night, and they play the Warriors on Friday. Home game. Oh, my goodness.
We also apparently... Again, NBC News and somebody that I actually know personally, Tom _Winter is tweeting from his account and the news account as well. We're apparently going to get a lot of names in this today. Organized crime, like this is a big one. It's going to go outside sports, but there's going to be names that we know apparently in connection to this.
Okay, so the Jontay Porter thing got busted, and apparently those guys are now singing like canaries. Like everyone is going down. Wow.
Terry Rozier's could be a footnote as far as fame.
I mean, Jontay Porter, too. He's going to be the last name we think about after all this.
Yeah.
All of this, of course, is coming the morning after the new season truly got rolling in the NBA. Cooper Flagg didn't score in his debut until the second half. He finished with 10 points, 10 boards. The Mavs got smacked by the Spurs, 125-92.
Not great. I mean, obviously didn't play incredibly well, but... got to move past it, turn our focus to start getting ready for Friday.
Flagg overshadowed by Victor Wembanyama, 40 points, 15 boards, and 3 blocks.
He plays basketball like it's a Nerf hoop in your bedroom. Ridiculous.
Thank you, Jay Billis.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Kawhi Leonard, just 10 points in the Clippers' 129-108 loss in Utah. Joel Embiid, 1 for 9 in the Sixers' 117-116 win in Boston. This was Embiid's first game since February. And Zion, 27 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 steals, but the Pelicans lose their opener in Memphis, 128-122. Ja Morant scoring 35. A lot of injury news out of Tampa Bay yesterday. The Bucks officially placing Mike Evans on IR. He is scheduled for surgery in the coming days for his broken collarbone. They still think he'll be back again at some point late this season. Chris Godwin, Bucky Irving remain out for this weekend. And pass rusher Hassan Reddick is hurt, will miss some time, according to Todd Bowles. They were waiting yesterday on MRI results. NHL last night, the Devils won their 6th in a row, 4-1 over the Wild. Chicago Fire FC won its first MLS playoff game since 2009, 3-1 over Orlando City. They now advance to a best-of-3 with top-seeded Philadelphia Union. And the San Francisco Giants are taking a unique gamble, hiring Tennessee baseball coach Tony Vitello as their new manager. This is the first time an MLB team has hired a college coach who has no professional experience. And Vitello is a character.
Tony, thanks for the time. We appreciate it. Yeah, you bet. Sorry for the delay. Have a small bladder.
So that's how he said goodbye one time during an in-game interview. He also hawked a loogie on live TV. He argues and bumps umpires. He crowd surfed after the Vols won the national title a few years ago. So there is some debate whether his unique brand of lunacy will work with adults from all over the world.
Bogues, you're a pro. You can't say the Giants take a unique gamble in this update. Unless you know something we don't.
I wish I was clever enough to connect those two things.
On an update that started with the feds arresting Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, and more because of a gambling scandal. I'm seeing here in the Athletic, they're describing the new Giants manager as Billy Martin crossed with Yogi Berra.
Yeah, that seems fair. He's also a handsome guy, super successful, but he's wacky.
Well, that's a terrible analogy because Yogi Berra and Billy Martin, as much as I love Yogi, were the opposite.
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing the shallow face stuff. The other guy that comparison is just based on their personality.
Yeah. That's a high bar as far as personality, by the way. They say that's like two of the goats of personality. Anyway.
Yeah. So there's a lot of play here. Just
good thing GMs are the only thing that matters in baseball. It doesn't even matter what. I mean, I was thinking about this last night, and I know we got to get to this major story. How many decisions does a baseball manager make in an actual game compared to a football manager? Yeah. So because I was thinking about this college story, I know it's unique. Like, does it really make a difference where, what did you say? Hey, buddy, go up there and hit a home run. I just think that managers are less impactful in the era of GMs.
They might be less impactful, but they still have to have the guys in the right frame of mind to be successful. And if your tricks don't work in that regard, then you're not going to be a good manager.
So that's the main job, is to be a mental coach for your team?
Definitely.
Well, it's also, you must find the right celebratory prop.
Right.
And make sure, are we going Trident this year? Are we going to do a jacket?
Are you sure that's not the front office? I mean, there might be a guy like
there's a guy.
Bill in the corner office. He's the prop guy. All right, what do you got, Bill, this year?
It's a rainbow-colored clown wig to anybody who hits a home run.
Do you think the managers came up with that stuff? I'm not so sure.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting, right?
Oh, I was thinking about the
college coach in a professional locker room. Anyway,
but I thought you were talking about the Chauncey Billups story.
Yes.
I immediately thought of boxing in the 70s and 80s. The one thing a sport cannot do is have people questioning whether it's authentic. Then that's why this is a serious threat to the NBA. Not that I don't think it will go there where the NBA will become less relevant because of like boxing it, but this is so major to like the core and the fabric of the sport.
So obviously the details are rolling in as we're having these conversations, but Tom Winter, NBC News, mentions that the arrest with Chauncey Billups is in connection with an investigation into illegal gambling not related to games he coached, according to two senior law enforcement officials. Also, this is from reporter Yanni Kourakis, apologies if I'm not getting that name right, senior anchor at WPFB News in South Florida, who says Bill's being arrested per source, but my understanding is it has to do with the poker game scheme the U.S. Attorney and FBI will be briefing on. So he is seeing that it is a poker game scheme for Chauncey, not related to sports, according to this reporter. So we'll have to keep following this as details come in.
Yeah, it's funny. Chauncey's already hired Pete Rose's lawyers. Games that he didn't coach in.
But I mean, talk about...
We've heard that line before.
A slippery slope.
I gave Joe DiMaggio a shower.
How are you picking and choosing which guys are running illegal poker games? Like, that's all these guys do on planes and buses is gamble. How are you figuring out what's right and wrong, or too much money involved? Like, what's the...
Well, I'm imagining, I don't know, but if we're doing this on the fly here, so forgive a little reckless speculation, but the fact that the FBI director is going to be doing the press conference means, and they said that mobsters and some gangsters are involved.
Yeah.
So remember, we had a story, we talked about this quite at length in July, early August. Remember, Gilbert Arenas, former NBA player, was arrested because he was allegedly operating high-stakes illegal poker games
in LA,
in
right?
connection with Israeli mobsters, right? And the idea was that he was running an illegal poker scheme that, there are gaming laws, there are taxing laws, and that would be where the penalties come in for crimes.
It's just weird to do it all in the same day. Like, do these things have anything to do with each other? Yeah, they have to, right? They have to be connected. The Terry Rozier
at least
may have
the same people
are
involved.
Terry Rozier may have manipulated his own box score to help a bettor.
Yep, exactly.
And also now a poker game.
Right. I'm wondering if whoever is involved with the bettor is involved
With
is
the
also
poker.
doing poker games.
Yeah,
with
it has
Chauncey
to be
Billups.
connected.
Right.
There's NBA connections there, perhaps, that are linking all this together.
Yeah, you lost money in poker, and you have to make it up by throwing a game.
Oh, I mean, maybe not even that. Just like you get one guy who's like who's
linchpin.
who's also doing poker games and trying to save himself. He's like, hey, by the way, I can give you these 8 names: actors, musicians, an NBA coach who's also winning 6 figures of unreported money in poker games.
Man, no wonder the Blazers are so bad.
Maggie, I thought when you said timing, I thought you meant the FBI. Like the FBI was like, maybe it's an interesting timing that they waited till the opening week of the NBA to do this. Like we're one game in, and like this, obviously they had all the investigation during the offseason. Did they want maximum eyeballs on this?
Definitely.
100%. That's always how this works.
What a naive question.
Well, the other part, they at least waited for the NBA to sign all their new media deals, get the $76 billion from Amazon and all these other places before they wreck their league with a betting scandal.
It's funny. Before I said that, I'm like, is this too insensitive to say that the FBI might have fixed this timing to coincide with the NBA start? Like, I don't want to say anything too juicy. You guys just call me an idiot for being so naive.
Only Manny did. The rest of us were nice.
Yeah, but you all thought it.
Yes,
We're
true.
all fighting for clicks around here, right? Even the FBI. They've got merch to sell. 888-710-4ISN.
With Wemby, I'm going to score all those points for nothing. Yeah. Damn it.
What's the FBI merch? Female body inspector t-shirt?
Yeah.
Well, there's a show, FBI.
Just in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina is where all of the female body inspector t-shirts come from.
The real question is, did we bust a slump in any of this? Have we been too long between arrests? Can Maggie somehow profit off of this news today?
I just had this image, by the way.
Yeah, the Blazers are in the news.
That's the drought. The Blazers are the head of every top hour
headline.
Every headline.
I have this in the show FBI. I don't even know what channel. They always wear a hat that says FBI in big blue letters. Maggie always says when I wear a flat rim hat, I look like a narc who's trying to be a young guy. I get this picture showing up with an FBI hat to a drug deal. Be like,
deal me in, guys.
Yeah, to an NBA game, actually wearing an FBI hat.
So what do we got
here? What are
here?
the stakes here?
Texas Hold'em?
Hey. I see you got the Grizzlies. You got the Grizzlies on the schedule Thursday. How you feeling for that game?
I also see a mountain of cocaine behind you guys.
Yeah. Sure,
Deal me in,
you're
fellow
wearing
gamblers.
an FBI hat.
How do you do, fellow gamblers?
Isn't poker the best?
Oh, God.
How's Terry Rozier's foot really feeling, guys? What do you think?
Which gets me back to the movie that Manny and I love the most. A lot. 22 Jump Street, the sequel to 21 Jump Street, where there's a scene where they're undercover cops, and the guy goes, "You sure you're in college? You have crow's feet. You look like you're 40." Oh, God. I got to get an FBI hat. That'd be a good Halloween costume.
Do not wear
Pearl
that
off the narc.
Do not wear that around Manhattan, man. You'll get jumped.
Seriously.
Nah.
Wear it around Manhattan.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, it's a lot to digest. We're making fun of it, but it's a ridiculously serious story.
We didn't do the crimes.
Yeah, that's true. Right? Look
Right.
at everyone. Looks
Everyone
forward.
leaves FBI.
Right?
I got to tell you.
Suddenly Manny has somewhere to be.
Don't be suspicious. I'm on a hot streak on Prize Picks. No inside information. I'll tell you right now. I trust in Austin Matthews and John Moran.
Pearl, shut up. Shut up. Plead the fifth. You're incriminating yourself.
All right, let's take a quick break. We're
Let
going to try
me
to get
save
some
you
more
from you.
details. It looks like Chauncey Billups now caught up in this gambling scandal, so we'll keep you updated on all the latest with that. Equally big news, why is Shedeur Sanders not getting first-team reps in practice? Scandal everywhere.
Equally big news?
Definitely.
Yes. If you saw our metrics on our social media, equally big news. Why is Shedeur Sanders not getting any reps. We'll do that next.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Give a little piece of a cookie to the Hugies now, with the greater good being he's still banned.
So you bowed to the pressure of your mom, who wants him reinstated. She declared this over the weekend. We played that audio on Monday. Even though yesterday you sat here, puffed out your chest, and said, I'm a man. I don't even have to fold my clothes. I don't listen to my mom.
I don't listen to my mommy. And guess what? I'm still right. She's not on the show. He's not on the show. You have made a case that he's still welcome on the Permission Granted podcast. So there were enough people asking for a profile on him. We did the profile on him. We covered a lot of stuff with the block party. We uncovered a lot of things. But guess what? Now you've had your little piece of cookie. Now everybody can go away and we can go our separate ways again.
You got intimidated by your mom.
I don't get intimidated by my mother. Are you kidding me? She's 5'4".
Saturday, she said, Huge Freeze will be back on the show on Monday. Yesterday, you fought back against the listeners that said that your mom controls you.
She doesn't control me.
And now today, you have him on side B to, what? To appease your mom.
No, not to appease my mom, to appease the audience that's pounding the drum and trying to say there's a loophole now because she's issued the reinstatement. I issue reinstatements. I am the producer of the DA show. All right? I take that job very seriously occasionally. I make that decision. He was on a little itty-bitty 10-minute podcast that gets played on radio.com. You want to listen to Huge, you can listen to him bellyache and bemoan and all that. I pitched the idea about the stupid hot salsa thing to say it's not going to happen from my end. I want to make sure it's not going to happen from your end. And we go over everything, and I really try to force him to Taz and the Moose more since he likes going away with Taz to Vegas. So that's it, all right? Nobody can tell me there's a reinstatement being issued. Nobody can tell me I give in. I can see. No.
But you gave in.
No, I didn't.
You had him on side B.
To do a profile. I'm running out of guys. I'm running out.
There's the truth. There it is, right there.
If Bogus, it took our job seriously and was with us this week, I would have just done him this morning. But he was busy. He was preoccupied.
So this is about you being lazy, being unable to find another guest.
No. Yes and no. Yes and no. If I can't find another guest, there's enough heat in the kitchen. It kills 2 birds, 1 stone, and now everybody could go away and stop worrying about Huge Freeze again.
This is only going to stoke the fires more.
No, it will not. No, it will not.
You just did a profile on him.
And you guys will listen, and you understand we leave it amicably, but amicably.
You okay?
What is it? Amicably. Amicably. How do you say it? How do you say the word?
Keep trying, please.
Acclimatiggy.
Amicably.
Amicably.
Okay, if you didn't hear, Billy, I'm resetting that last.
Donk, badonk-a-donk. Keep you rolling, in the country's on, badonk-a-donk, badonk-a-donk, badonk-a-donk. That song.
Yeah, that one.
And then the very soft, you're gonna miss this. I'll
probably be okay.
You're gonna miss this. I don't know the words in between. You're gonna miss this. Those are two very good songs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Trace Atkins has a couple hits. Honky tonk, but donka donk. I'll keep you rolling.
Welcome back to Maggie and Perloff Show. If you're just joining us, got some breaking news this morning of the gambling scandal variety. Looks like the FBI knocking on doors. Terry Rozier has been arrested, and Chauncey Billups, who is the head coach right now of the Portland Trailblazers, has also been arrested. It's all part of a gambling-related case and scandal. The feds are doing the arresting here this morning, and it all goes back to this Jontay Porter scandal. Pearl, he pleaded guilty in federal court and was banned by the NBA for life in 2024. And Rozier may be facing similar things, while Chauncey Billups, at least the NBC News reporting early on, says that it was not about games, betting on games that he coached in. It's possibly more tied to poker games that may have been illegal.
Yeah, it feels like we only know a portion of the information, but this just feels heavy, feels big. We've had game-changing gambling scandals. This is going to be right up there. And even Jontay Porter was such a no-name. You know, we know his brother, but Chauncey Billups, I assume, is he already a Hall of Famer? I think he might be.
Billups is a Hall of Famer.
I think he is, and he's also just a guy that we know as a player, so it makes a big difference. If it was a no-name coach, that'd be one thing.
Well, and a sitting coach.
Yeah,
you know?
And a sitting coach on a team that's not good, too.
Let's go to the phones. Bergie is in Florida. Good morning, Bergie. How you doing, sir?
Good morning. You know, when I called in like 15 minutes ago, I had this kind of tongue-in-cheek thing about Rozier in March 2023 when this happened with the Hornets. Who was the owner? You were talking about yesterday, a guy who might need money.
Michael Jordan?
About a guy who... So I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's a video of him at the betting window smoking his cigar and with his Nikes on and all that. So you got MJ, but... You know, since this Billups thing, it's become much more serious, and it did make me think about Rozier. You know, when he was cleared by the NBA, maybe that's because they knew there was a lot bigger thing. They just wanted to keep quiet.
Oh, it's possible. That's interesting. Or maybe just felt like, hey, something's coming down the pike with the FBI, so let's just let them do their work. Berg, though that would be kind of irresponsible, I guess, of the NBA, unless the FBI went to them and said, listen, back off here. We don't need people poking around on your side. Let us do our jobs.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea. It's funny about the Jordan owning the Hornets. Like, when I think of Michael Jordan's gambling, I guess I just think golf course.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't think of winning, but who knows? That's probably going too far. Billups, by the way, inducted in 2024 into the Hall of Fame. You know, the funny thing about clearing Terry Rozier, from what we know about the report so far, $13,000 on unders is not a massive deal. I mean, that's just not game-changing scandal money.
Sure.
So that could be another part of it.
Well, those over-under, those prop bets are capped. Like, you can't go unlimited amounts, on Terry Rozier under rebounds.
Yeah, your odds are, I have no idea how those were juiced at the time, but you're not going to make that much money.
Here's a question for you. So, Michael Jordan, I was thinking, you think golf course and you think of him gambling, but also poker. Some very famous poker games, including the one that we've all heard about, Barcelona 92, the Olympics. You know, Spike Lee tells this story every time there's a microphone in front of him about him, and it was magic, I guess, and Michael, and they gambled all night long, and then they went out and beat Algeria or whatever the next day. But if for Billups, if it's a poker game, does it not mess with his legacy? Because if it's not betting on games, but he just happened to be involved in like a high-stakes illegal poker game, obviously terrible, decision-making and all that stuff, I'm sure he'd be fired. But his basketball legacy doesn't get tarnished at all.
Yeah, not majorly. But here's the problem. It's the timing. I think in people's minds, they're going to connect the poker game to the basketball scandal unless we hear differently. Like, there's a lot of information to come here.
So what was it? Kash Patel, the head of the FBI, is doing a press conference at 10 a.m.? All right. So we'll see we already know who's been arrested. That would be Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups, both arrested today. And then we'll see what they're being charged with. Wow. It's a big one. 888-710-4ISN. comes down the same day as the news that college kids can now bet on pro sports.
Good timing.
It's awesome. Maggie Perloff Show. Lots more to do, including we mentioned Shedeur Sanders and Tua Tagovailoa. Both in the news. We'll tell you why.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. 15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Well, woke up this morning to scandal. Welcome to the show. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. This is coming to us from the FBI. You don't want to cross. They've arrested Chauncey Billups this morning, the Hall of Famer, the Portland Trailblazers head coach, for his connection, allegedly, with a gambling scandal. Now, from what we can tell from NBC News and some others that are starting to report this, Pearl, it's not that Chauncey was betting on games. This is not a Pete Rose situation where he was betting on his own team or anything. It's actually connected to some poker games and also the straight up mafia, like old school, the mob.
That's what the ABC reported. It's tied to the mafia, not just organized crime, which is scary.
Terry Rozier was also arrested this morning as well. He was the subject of an investigation by the NBA because of a very odd game in March 2023 where a gambler in Biloxi, Mississippi spent over $3,000 betting all Terry Rozier unders, points, rebounds, assists, everything that you could possibly have a prop bet on Terry Rozier. And lo and behold, Terry Rozier exited the game after 10 minutes with a foot injury. Now, the NBA investigated. They cleared him of that.
Yep.
Would love to know what went into that investigation because it seems a little sus, as the kids say. But now this is obviously a much wider thing, and the FBI director, Kash Patel, is going to hold a press conference in an hour.
Well, it feels easy to, the Terry Rozier thing, you subpoena his phone. I don't know how this works exactly. Does he have any contact with that gambler? If so, he did it. If not, he's fine. And his foot was hurt, or he just stunk that night. This is one of those stories you have to follow on X, to be honest, because it hasn't, the stories aren't really written yet. And unfortunately, I went to NBC News and ABC News. Were you aware the world's a terrifying place right now?
Don't look at that stuff. Stay in the sandbox here with us.
Well, I'm supposed to be in the sandbox, but now I have to go to the news sites because of this gambling. It is deadly serious. Let's hope for the sport. It's just poker. And not that that's good, don't get me wrong, but if they can really break open the dam of a major sports betting scandal, that would affect the NBA tremendously and would have ramifications in every sport: college football, pro football, baseball. A sitting coach getting arrested. Let's just hope that it stays away from the game. But I'm nervous that it won't.
You say that, and I know exactly what you're talking about. And then I'm trying to think about our real lives here and how do we apply our day to day. And even if there is a betting scandal, it's like a Terry Rozier, a Jonte Porter, who we know his brother more than we know him. The guys who are making such big money, they would be stupid to do something like this. It's the guys who either are trying to get a little extra scratch on the side or try to help out their friends, or I don't know what Terry Rozier's excuse is, but it's just, I wonder if we would just kind of all move on. I think that they're still going to play the games.
Right.
The NBA got through a referee scandal with Tim Donaghy that that was a masterclass by David Stern, how he navigated the league through that. You would have thought that would have maybe, had serious ramifications. And in fact, the league is bigger than ever.
Well, you say it's not going to be a star, but the arguably biggest star in American sports right now was involved in a multi-million-dollar gambling scandal in Shohei Ohtani.
Look what happened. You guys made fun of me because I kept bringing it up. Why, Maggie, why are you still bringing this up? Clearly it was the interpreter working alone, and Shohei had no idea. And I'm like, well, that seems a little fishy. No, Maggie, nothing to see here. Move on.
Yeah,
Shohei in the World Series.
As time has gone on, I'll admit I've become more dubious about that story. So it's not... You said people would have to be stupid. We've been covering pro sports for a long time, Maggie. How many times have people been stupid?
More than
on a daily basis. Come on.
Present company included.
Yeah, I think, a caller called in and said, isn't it funny Michael Jordan owned the team? Michael Jordan is is worth over $3 billion, and you hear these tales of irresponsible gambling. I'm not tying him to anything at all. Nothing like that. But I'm just saying gambling is a funny thing. Like, you might be the smartest person in the world, and you might be irresponsible when it comes to gambling. You might, or any other vice or any other activity.
Totally.
People do things that make no sense.
Oh, yeah. And there's an addictive part of gambling, clearly. Like, we understand that. But I guess I'm just asking you this question. How do you think it actually impacts the NBA? They signed a $70 billion media rights deal. That's not going away. They, have their stars. Victor Wembanyama was transcendent last night. They've got the new face of the league. As long as he stays healthy, we've never seen anything like this before. There's a blueprint because, you're right, Major League Baseball just navigated this whole thing. And they pinned it on Shohei's interpreter. And listen, maybe he does deserve every single bit of the blame. And Shohei said he never even suspected that the interpreter was gambling on sports. Meanwhile, the guy's making 400 bets a day.
Yeah.
And they're tied at the hip. But okay, everyone forgot about it and got through it. And I just think there's so much at stake for the major holders here, the NBA, their relationship with gambling companies, sports media, our relationship with gambling companies. There's just so many reasons for everyone to go, all right, let's just move on as quickly as possible.
Well, yeah, I mean, the NFL, for example, over-punishes when there's any tie to gambling. Calvin Ridley did, $7,000 worth of parlays and was kicked out for a year, cost himself double-digit $1 million. So the NFL does that. So what do you need to see? Do you need to see Anthony Edwards throwing a game in the Western Conference Finals, which would explain why he played so poorly, by the way. But I don't think he did.
Don't do it, bro.
No, I'm just saying, is that what you need? Is it to make it really, really affect all this? How big does the scandal have to be? Or do all these little scandals add up? I'm not quite as confident as you that it won't have a major impact. I just think that the direction, and I'm not saying that it's not an unfixable problem in any way. I think that what you need is more regulation, clearly. And I do think this is a lesson. Okay, gambling is legal everywhere. Now we really have to be careful about regulation. This is a step up in the game.
And they will tell you this is that system working because they rooted it out or they found it.
And they could be right, too.
But now we'll see. I mean, when you start talking about ties to the mafia and gangsters and organized crime and stuff like that, then obviously this becomes a lot more than just a sports story. Yeah. And, that famous line from The Wire, you follow the money and you don't know where the hell it's going to take you. So we're obviously going to watch that very closely. And we said the FBI director is going to have a press conference in an hour. Meanwhile, let's get to a story that we wanted to touch on that is far away from this story, which is Tua Tagovailoa.
I was dying to see the transition there.
I'm up on two wheels taking this left turn.
Masterfully done. I was like, all right, is she going to go Tua or Shedeur here? And how is she going to do it?
Well, I just did it. Manny,
done.
Let's hear from Tua yesterday. He was obviously, the Dolphins are in free fall. The team just got smoked by the Cleveland Browns. Everyone's waiting for the head coach to be fired. He looks like someone who could get implicated in some kind of poker scandal. Mike McDaniel, that is looking the part. Here's Tua admitting that he couldn't get the ball to wide receiver Jalen Waddle because he couldn't see him.
I think with that, some of it has to do with being able to see guys, with their guys also up front and our guys. And I'm not the tallest guy in the back there either. So being able to see, and then, sometimes when that happens, you don't want to just throw it blindly. You got to progress. So I think that had some merit to reasons as to why that happened for Waddle.
That's a tough loss for us short kings.
I was going to say, Tua just put on blast every short quarterback who has hopes of playing in the NFL. And also, he talks like this, how did he ever complete a pass? It's like we're talking now Tua never was able to ever.
Didn't he throw for 4,500 yards one season?
Yes.
Well, this is a terrible time for short quarterbacks everywhere. Russell Wilson looked awful when he came into the game the other day. Kyler Murray is clearly worse than Jacoby Brissett in Arizona. Dylan Gabriel, by the way, no one talks about it, a bit of a disappointment in Cleveland. Hasn't been able to throw for a lot of yards. So I think, but I was just looking at real quick a mock draft. Move the tall guys up right now because it's a copycat league. And if Tua can't see over the line, give me Fernando Mendoza. Goodbye, John Mateer. It's the tall guys who are going to win.
Yeah, somewhere Bryce Young is just like cowering in the corner. Don't come for me. I mean, he's hurt, meanwhile.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he's not really having a great year either. So it's funny. We've always wondered that with short quarterbacks. How do they see over the line? And everyone says Drew Brees and players like that can manipulate where they got into a lane to be able to see the field. That's so funny to hear Tua say, I need to see over them. But then other quarterbacks say, I don't care if you're 6'4". The lineman's 6'6". I can't see over those guys anyway.
I think what's weird about this with Tua is not only to admit a shortcoming like this, but why are you saying any of this at all? I think Tua sometimes, especially lately, and maybe you could even go back almost a calendar year, feels like he uses these press conferences as like therapy sessions. That's not the right approach. And as someone who, lives their life using clips like this, and we make it our livelihood, Pearl, I would even give him this advice. Say less.
Yeah.
And not in the, like slang say less. But like literally say less.
Say less, sis.
Because you're killing yourself here with these quotes. Now, if he was playing well, these quotes wouldn't matter. If he said, hey, I can't see over my offensive line, but I just passed for 3 touchdowns and 350 yards. I'm a magic man.
We'd appreciate his candor if some of the things he's saying.
But this is you can't do it when the Sharks are already circling.
Yeah, he's throwing some bad interceptions too. Let me ask you a question. Where do you think Tua learned this style of press conference from?
Yeah, his coach isn't any better.
Is it almost worse? Tua is probably modeling his coach, Mike McDaniel, who feels like he's already fired when he gets up there. And
that was a miserable experience.
Yeah, he's kind of funny. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy it, but it speaks to a lot. To me, it's not just about Tua. It's about the Dolphins and this larger dumpster fire that this season is turning out to be, which is a shame because there's still talent there.
We're another day closer to death.
But here's the thing, right? There's always a moment when you can cut this off. There's always a moment where you can stop the bleeding. Like every day is a chance to turn things around. I know that sounds really cheesy, but I think it's true. And for some reason, and I don't know why, Tua continues to overshare in these press conferences. You don't even have to do the press conference. You want to know what happens if you don't talk? They fine you. You've made $150 million in your career, right? You can say, talking cliches. You can talk around things. It's almost like he's incapable of doing that thing that not just professional athletes, but professionals, period, do when you are in an embattled situation, which is don't fan the flames.
Is it possible that he doesn't think he's in an embattled situation? Like, think about it. He has a contract that we've talked about on this show that is immovable. They can't trade him. It's pretty much guaranteed. Even if they cut him, he's going to make a lot of money. The cap hit is gruesome for the Dolphins. Is in his head, you're in a bubble, right? When you play in the NFL, is he thinking, well, like I'm like Teflon, I'm the franchise player, so I'm with a bunch of guys who are losers who are not getting it done, and I got to talk to these people about what our issues are. Like, we have no leadership. I'm having trouble seeing over the line. Maybe that's a question about the offensive line or the pass rush he's seeing. Like, and maybe he feels like he is the guy there and he's entrenched there, and that's why he can just say whatever in these press conferences.
Yeah, it's like he called out teammates for not showing up to a players-only meeting. We've heard a lot of reports about bad culture in Miami, and maybe I'm going to say a pro Tua take. Maybe Tua is not the problem. He's been like, guys, let's act professionally, and everyone's like, no, we're not going to do it. So he's so frustrated he's going to the press with this. I know players hate that when you go out of the press, but maybe he's at wit's end because of other people like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Ramsey, who had a reputation of didn't always have a reputation of being bad locker room guys, but are big personalities who could have a lot of influence.
Okay, and maybe you guys are right here and the squeaky wheel gets the oil, but I ask you, is it working? It's not. And so maybe it's time to make a halftime adjustment here if we're going to use football speak. And here's EJ, it's an interesting point you bring up is Tua so in his bubble that he thinks like this is the only way to save the franchise, or I'm safe anyway because of my contract. There's a reality here that the record is 1-6. That he can't be delusional about. Like, your job is to be a football player, and when your record is that lopsided, you have to know something's bad. Even if you are delusional and think you're still the sun by which the rest of the organization revolves around.
Yeah, also, not everybody can easily be non-authentic. I mean, some people I don't know what Tua was probably earlier in his career, but it's not that easy to just go up there and be like Tony Romo was when he was a player, who had an amazing ability to say nothing. Andy Reid, the Chiefs coach, has
Tom Brady.
Amazing ability. Brady, most of the time. Brady once in a while would say some weird things, but yeah, I don't know. You're right. That's what you go for, but maybe he's just a genuine person.
We mentioned it earlier this week, Russell Westbrook. Like, Russell Westbrook, it drove him crazy to see LeBron James be, quote-unquote, phony to him, that he couldn't take it. He was talking to teammates, talking to the press about, like, how much he couldn't stand the fake-ish that he thought was from LeBron James. But LeBron James, who is better at just, like, going out there and just getting through some of these interviews and press conferences. He makes statements when he wants to make statements. He's not making gaffes.
But the one thing about that Westbrook, so we're going to talk to Yaron Weitzman, who wrote this new book about LeBron's Lakers. So great transition there, EJ. Pro move. But Westbrook didn't say this at a press conference. He was privately telling, or I think either whether it was privately telling teammates or journalists or whatever, he never put a LeBron on. He didn't get up at a podium and say, guys, LeBron never watched The Godfather. Yeah. Wake up.
Westbrook has said things at press conference. He used to be known for his looks at press conferences, which were amazing. But no, he'll speak at a press conference too.
No, but not about LeBron's phoniness.
But generally, not this specific story, but Westbrook's always been very,
usually gets the fans.
He's been pretty genuine in press conferences. I mean, listen, I agree with you, Maggie, that a quarterback has a job. It's part of his job not to be that way in a press conference. Like, forget what you are as a person. It's almost as important as, not almost important, but it's like reading a defense. You're supposed to be able to do this as a QB, this as a QB. That's one thing you don't do as a QB, is give fodder to the press at a press conference. I agree with you, but I'm not willing to kill Tua for this because it's a total mess in Miami.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. As I mentioned, Yaron Weitzman wrote a new book about LeBron's era with the Lakers. It's got all types of juicy stories in it, and we will talk about that next.
Oh, Maggie. It's good to be right.
Careful here, guys.
Go ahead and brag, Pearl. You're on a hot streak.
It's good to be right on Prize Picks. I'm on a hot streak. I have many in a row. John Morant was at 24.5 points last night. I'm like, I think it's going to be a big Ja year. Under the radar, scored over 30. So I won on Prize Picks. It's so much fun because when you have a take like that, you can win big on Prize Picks. New users get $50 of bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. The app is simple to use. You just pick 2 or more players, pick more or less on their stat projections, anything from TDs to threes, not that Ja hit a lot. And if you're right, you could win big.
All right, I'm officially fading Carson Wentz, and that's going to happen tonight. His projected total pass yards, 229.5, Pearl.
Yep.
Give me less than, and I'm going to pair that with a little Jimmy Butler. I'm fading everybody. Less than 18.5 points as well. And if you want to get in on the action on Prize Picks, well, come play along. We are absolutely obsessed with it. And if you're wondering, can I play Prize Picks? Well, the answer is probably yeah. It's available in 40-plus states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. Play along with us. It's a good time. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code MMP. Get $50 bonus credit in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code MMP to get $50 bonus credit in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Mand P.
You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 3 minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
This portion of the show is brought to you by Ethos Life, the easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes, up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam, just a few health questions. Get your free quote at checkethos.com, not available in all states. Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff. We're following a very serious story today. We don't even really know where it's going to land, but so far, several names, sports names connected to a gambling scandal.
Yeah. Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups, who was just inducted to the Hall of Fame, is someone who was arrested this morning, and also Terry Rozier, who had already been under investigation. Let's get to Andrew Bogusch, who's monitoring this story. And again, the FBI director is going to talk to the media at the top of the hour.
Yeah, still sorting through the details and the names. That press conference, top of the hour, also involves lawyers for the Eastern District of this or that here in New York City. So there'll be different agencies, different people on this stage walking us through all of this. As you guys just said, Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups, Heat guard Terry Rozier, and now former player Damon Jones, all reportedly arrested as part of a federal gambling investigation. It appears that Billups was part of illegal poker games or the like. Well, we've already known that Rozier was connected to odd betting patterns on his prop bets for a game back in March 2023. We are also expecting more names, some from outside the sports world, during this press conference that is scheduled to begin at 10 a.m. Eastern.
Can I say something? I know this will sound a little naive, but they're linking this like to the mafia, like the kind of old school Cosa Nostra. I thought that the mafia had kind of been tamped down a little bit. But
That's
I
what
guess
they want you to think.
But there was an arrest last year. They took down 14 Gambino family members at once in New York. Yeah, no, they arrest all the time.
Oh, okay.
It's still going down.
I mean, The Sopranos ended years ago, though. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I
thought we moved on to an era more of an international kind of gambling scheme. I know that obviously these Italian families, but that's all like they're New York based. I thought we were global now, you know?
I mean, I think it's not just gambling though. I don't know exactly what they do, obviously, but there's a lot of, dip their beaks everywhere.
All right.
bro.
That's
all right, Fat Andy.
Yeah, isn't that the expression? Yeah, I watched Simpsons. You said they had 3 mafia characters. Joe Montana.
I got to dip my beak over here,
Yeah. They always said he's got to dip his beak.
I think I heard them say that in HBO's The Penguin last year.
But I also thought, as like the world's become more global, I thought that these mobsters and gangsters were more like on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and all that, the scams and schemes.
Yeah. Well, you're right. Oh,
not
you're
poker
thinking,
games. Like
right,
it feels old school.
I saw a Sopranos episode where Christopher Moltisanti was doing this kind of phone operation. Not a real person, by the way. And you're right. Now that comes out. I get these calls.
Quaint.
Yeah, I get these calls from Albania all the time. I'm like, I don't really think this is an insurance salesperson.
Would you like to dip your beak in real estate?
Yes. That's so funny.
Whoever requests mob style.
My bank wants to call me from Indonesia. They're right down the street.
All they need is your PIN, your social security number, and your mother's maiden name.
Yeah.
Hand it over.
Oh, and you two guys are giving that up left and right. So you're easy marks.
God. I had this other thing the other day where eBay, of all things, wanted my credit card. I'm like,
I
sure.
had that one too.
Here's 2.
No, I mean, I actually bought something on eBay.
I thought I had an eBay. The Easy Pass scandal is back again.
Wait, is there an eBay scandal out there, by the way? Because I might have to call my lawyer.
I'd cancel all of your credit cards.
Yeah. Hey, Tom, I did it again.
Hey, Tom, it's Pearl again.
Yeah.
Listen.
It's a voice note now. It's like, call me back or don't. Just cancel the card.
They already have a plan.
It's like in The Hangover when what's the Eagles fan's name? Bradley Cooper calls the fiance like, yeah, we messed up. And the second one, they call her again. Yeah, we messed up again. And the third one, yeah, we messed up a third time.
I know. Listen, pot kettle. I need like a personal concierge just to keep me from giving away my personal information.
Okay.
This
really was eBay.
Okay, good.
Either that or somebody overseas is sending me something via mail and that's a tracking number. They're really good.
This is obviously not how the NBA wanted to open its new season. On the court, night 2 headlined by 40 points, 15 boards, and 3 blocks from the unknown Victor Wembanyama. This was his return from that blood clot scare last season.
I saw what it's like to be confronted with, potentially losing a lot, whether it's your career or your health, so I'm not taking this for granted anymore. But the body, I'm having more fun now that I'm not struggling to move as much, and I know I still need to get better. I'm still going to get better.
This game was also Cooper Flagg's NBA debut. Just 10 points with 10 boards for the number 1 pick. His Mavs taking a 125-92 beating at home from Wemby and his Spurs. VJ Edgecombe scored 34, the third most ever in a rookie debut. He and the Sixers 117-116 winners in Boston. The Raptors scored their most points ever on opening night, 138-118 over the Hawks. Giannis hung 37-14 on the Wizards in a 133-120 Bucks win. Anthony Edwards scored 41 as the T-Wolves won in Portland, 118-114. And yada, yada, yada.
Ball inbounds, front court, right-hand side. His pass is nearly picked off. It is picked off. Anunoby taps to Brunson. Back to Anunoby. Reverse jam. With 34 seconds to go, Anunoby started it and finished it, putting the Knicks up by 10.
That's my buddy Pat O'Keefe on Knicks Radio. Manny's friends, known as the Knicks, with a 119-111 win over the Cavaliers last night at MSG. I believe the Knicks gave away a 17-point lead.
That doesn't matter. We got the W.
Before winning by 8, OG Anunoby had 24 and 14 rebounds, 23 points from Jalen Brunson, and much like Willis Reed, Karl-Anthony Towns had 19 points and 11 boards on a grade 2 quad strain. Back to the police blotter. Mark Sanchez now has a December 11th court date or trial date for his assault charges in Indy. The next court date is November 20th. There's a pretrial conference on December 2nd. And Sandy Brondello is expected to become the head coach of the expansion Toronto Tempo. The Liberty fired her this fall after an early playoff exit, just a year after winning the WNBA title. Guys, back to you.
Bogusch, thanks so much. And we're keeping an eye on this gambling scandal now. Chauncey Billups has been arrested. Terry Rozier has been arrested. Damon Jones, former player, has been arrested. But let's turn our attention to the NBA of a different variety. Yaron Weitzman has written a new book. It's called A Hollywood Ending, The Dreams and Drama of the LeBron Lakers. And Yaron, good enough to join us now. Yaron, congratulations on the book. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me on. What'd I miss this morning?
That Blazers T-Wolves final score wasn't the only thing that was going on.
I'm actually surprised that you're already not thinking about a book on this one because it feels this is book worthy.
Let's go to the Lakers for a second, though, Yaron. And before we get into some of the stuff in your book, we actually were talking with some Laker fans yesterday who were questioning LeBron's sciatica. Now, you've just been
sciatica. I missed this. Really,
the shoulder deep, elbow, eyeballs deep in all things LeBron and the Lakers. Is there any reason to believe that LeBron is slow playing his season debut for any other reason besides injury?
I mean, I don't think so. Can I tell you what I find fascinating about that is it's just Lakers fans' feelings toward LeBron are just fascinating to me. Even this Will Smith story that went viral the other day from the book, right, where it's Russell Westbrook calling Will Smith fake and all these things. And my mentions, I check my mentions obviously because I'm vain and I do that. And it's full of Lakers fans. I assume the Lakers fans, people being like, "Yeah, Russ got him. Go get him, Russ. LeBron's a phony," and fine. And then I'm thinking though, the idea that like the Westbrook experience in LA went poorly because it's LeBron's a phony and not because Russ was awful there is just so detached from reality. And so this is like a similar thing. There's just this something about LeBron and the NBA in general, but specifically Lakers fans, there's a distance there. They don't feel the same connection to him that you would expect for an all-time great who joined their franchise and now in 8 years straight with the team.
Wait, it's different with other Lakers greats? Like they're full in on Kobe and Kareem and Magic. You're saying it's this LeBron specifically with Lakers fans?
Yeah, it's LeBron specifically. It's so interesting. Part of it, I think, was LeBron and Kobe were pitted against each other before LeBron got there, and they're and I go into this in a book a little bit, but they're polar opposites in every single way. Like the way they approached the game and life, honestly. Kobe wouldn't be friends with the guys on other teams. He wouldn't team up with our guys. LeBron obviously is. Kobe was all about, in his mind, like he didn't understand LeBron. He didn't understand these things about, businesses outside of basketball. Kobe went into that stuff after his career, but while playing, no. Even on the court, like the Mamba mentality, last shot of the game, I'm shooting over 4 guys. How many first take segments do we remember from LeBron's years in Cleveland? We're like, he passed the open guy in the corner. Should he have shot the ball, right? Like they were just polar opposites. And I think what happened so Lakers fans, you're defending Kobe, but when you're taking that further, you're defending the Kobe mentality, like the Mamba mentality, like that's what you're defending. That's what an all-time great should look like. And then LeBron gets there, and all of a sudden it's like, I guess we have to like this guy, and they deface some murals. And then on top of that, I think you can't underestimate the impact that the top moment of his time with the Lakers being the 2020 title, it happening in a bubble with no parade and no fans, that robbed a connection point between the fans and LeBron that I do think is going to impact his legacy here 20 years from now.
We're talking to Yaron Weitzman. He wrote a new book called A Hollywood Ending, The Dreams and Drama of the LeBron Lakers. And you mentioned it, Yaron, in your book. You have some details about Russell Westbrook really took issue with LeBron kind of being inauthentic, right, being fake. And it's everything from LeBron publicly supporting Russ, but then privately not so much, or wanting, Kyrie Irving to be traded to the Lakers, but not acknowledging that publicly, to then the pettier stuff like he never watched The Godfather and clearly lied about it and then got caught in the lie and had to double down, or this anecdote that you write about Will Smith, the actor, where LeBron and Anthony Davis are clearly like clowning Will Smith, but then act like his best friend. I'm kind of paraphrasing here. Now,
yeah, that's
a lot of famous people, what you see necessarily is not what you get. But for some reason, this criticism of LeBron seems like a real attack on his character. Is that fair?
It's a fair description, I think, for sure. Like if that's what you're saying, fair description, 100%. It goes back. I think it really goes back to the decision, and it's wild. And like bring it back to Kobe. it speaks poorly on us. People seem to have easier time getting over a sexual assault allegation than they do a weird free agency decision, right? It's sports fans, and it's just. You can say, but it's the case. It's just really weird, and I think it does all go back to the decision. Yeah, it's definitely fair, and again, it's just interesting. It's really interesting to me. So like the Westbrook stuff is, I'm repeating, Westbrook was awful there. He was awful, and the idea that would be LeBron's fault is just detached from reality.
Yaron, there's so many things in the book that I want to ask about. One thing for a while, Maggie and I talk about is the structure of the Lakers front office. I know there's been some reporting on Jeannie Buss, what's in the book, Jeannie Buss and Magic. I love the show Running Point on Netflix, I believe, with Kate Hudson plays Jeannie Buss.
I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah. Like what's really going, I know the team is now sold, but what's really going on? Like who is the real power, without giving away too much in the book, like who really has the power in that organization?
So a couple things. One, I love Running Point too, but I came out like when I was like 2 years into my reporting. For people who don't know, it's the Netflix show. The Lakers, Jeannie's an executive producer, and Linda Rambis, her right-hand woman, is too. And like I had so many questions. Like if you gave me the showrunners of that show, I would just want to know who pitched all these storylines. Like if they came from the Lakers side, I had so many questions because there are things in there where like some people had kind of said stuff to me about that, and I'm just like, oh my God, is this real? Did this actually happen? So Jeannie, I think it's important to remember. So the team, and I go into this a little bit in the book, right? So the history, it's the Buss family. Everyone kind of is familiar with them, and there's all this craziness. And Dr. Buss dies, and he leaves the team to Jeannie and Jimmy. And you got to keep your J's straight here. But Jeannie and Jimmy, and Jeannie's running business, and Jimmy's running basketball. But Jeannie's as the boss, and that was a shock to everybody, right? Nobody knew that was going to happen until he basically it's left in the will. So there's already some tension there. Things go poorly with Jimmy. Jeannie basically fires him. And later on, her brothers try executing, the official phrasing is a boardroom coup, right? And they try taking the team from her. And I think it's important to that. After that, we sort of start closing ranks. She keeps onto the team, but it's like they try taking the team from me. I'm going to close ranks, and I'm going to hire. And this gets to answer your question. I'm going to surround myself with people I trust. And then one of the first people she does is Magic, and that blows up in her face, right? Famously. I mean, everyone remembers when he resigns at the game. She didn't know about this. He just says, "Yeah, guys, I'm out of here," and then holds an hour press conference in one of the I feel like it's underratedly one of the strangest recent sports moments that we kind of all forgot about, right? Where he's just holding court for an hour before the Lakers' final game saying, and it's Magic bleeping Johnson, right? And he's like, "Yeah, I'm done here." And Jeannie had no idea. And then after that, we close ranks even further. And it's Rob Pelinka, who's Kobe's former agent, basically, if she can't have Kobe, he's the next best thing. And then it's Linda and Kurt Rambis. People probably familiar with some of those names. Kurt Rambis, famous Laker player, or kind of famous Lakers person, I should say. And his wife, Linda Rambis, who has been Jeannie's friend for 40 years. And in the most Lakers fashion, their relationship started because Jeannie's father dated her sister because she was a Playboy bunny back years ago. And then he got to know Linda. Linda gets hired into work in the Forum, the Lakers building, to be kind of Jeannie's mentor. Her and Jeannie become best friends. And it's sort of those three, right? So it's the Rambi. I call him the Rambi. It's the Rambi, Rob Pelinka, and Jeannie. And she is one of the interesting things in the book, learning sort of the the reporting, you learn that like she's insulated herself a little bit, and it comes off a criticism. I guess it is, but I get it. But it's sort of, she wants to make sure she trusts people, and that they are the people where she gets her perspectives from and her information from. And I think that can sometimes lead to some issues.
Yaron Weitzman joining us. The new book is called A Hollywood Ending, The Dreams and Drama of the LeBron Lakers. I only got a couple more minutes with you, Yaron, so let's get to it. No matter if the Lakers are well-run or not well-run, superstars fall out of the sky into their lap, and none bigger than Luka Doncic. We found out in your book that Bronny, of all people, broke the news in a group chat, the team chat. So Anthony Davis finds out he got traded from Bronny James putting the Shams Charania tweet in the group chat. What was LeBron's true reaction to the Luka trade? And does LeBron or the Lakers feel confident that Luka and LeBron can win a title together?
All right, so two things. Yeah, so LeBron they're sitting there, and I guess I should be clear. Like, AD might have been on the phone with Rob Pelinka while he's seeing this, but we're pretty much at the same time, right? So Bronny puts in the group chat, AT goes, did these bleep words just trade me? LeBron goes, WTF? I love Bronny also just being like such a kid in the group chat. Like, is this real? And we can all relate to that if you have kids or anything. So I mean, and also it kind of shows the idea that like that Clutch and LeBron run the Lakers, like that was always a little overrated. It's not as strong as people think. To answer your question, like I don't think LeBron has any issue with Luka. Like LeBron loves Luka, and Luka is one of these guys who he's so good, and I think like he's like a basketball player, and they recognize the greatness and genius of him. And you got to remember, LeBron recruited when he was trying to build out his LeBron shoe line. Luka was someone he tried recruiting. Like, and Luka kind of plays similarly to LeBron too, in a way, right? At least on offense. So the issue is not there. The issue I think LeBron has is with the Lakers management and the fact that they, and he would deny this, but I just don't believe he's on an expiring contract for his first time in his career. And I would, I think it's fair to assume he wanted some sort of extension or player option, and that was very clearly not offered to him, right? And I think that's where some of this tension that we're seeing is going to play out.
Yeah, Yaron, I was going to ask, how many more years do you expect out of LeBron? And will he end his career as a Laker?
So I've been answering this question. I don't know, but I say that because I don't think he knows either, right? I think what we're seeing is him really unsure of how he wants this to play out right now, right? We assume he's going to want a farewell tour, which he's 100% earned. He's not going to want to play for a random team. Like I think it's basically Lakers or Cavs. I think are really it, right? But he's also made clear in his career recently, since Miami, that he doesn't do pay cuts anymore. And I get it, understandably so. But at some point, you can't check every box, right? And part of it comes down to what are the Lakers willing to do? They're not. Rob Pelinka was asked on media day, like, I forget the exact phrasing, but would you give him another contract? And his answer was basically, we love LeBron to finish his story here, which is really not an answer. And I kind of joked that in parentheses, and we hope that's now, right? Like it's just, yeah. So I don't know, but I really, and people, I'm not going to say like Rich Paul, but people that say one level removed, like they don't think he knows either yet. So it's a cop out, but it's because I really think we're seeing him kind of grapple with how he wants this to play out.
We only have a couple more seconds left, but your book is so full of amazing details, right? Like the Bronny in the text chat, breaking the news to Anthony Davis that he's been traded. All these amazing things. Russell Westbrook not liking LeBron being phony with Will Smith. I mean, amazing stuff. What's your favorite little nugget that you found out that you were just like got a kick out of?
I like some of the Magic Johnson stuff when he was there running the team, and like people would walk by his office and you hear I think it was Joe Mathis, like the theme songs of Family Feud kind of coming out. I think that's just random, and it's like you believe it too. It makes sense too. It works. Like you're just like not like that's like, oh yeah, it kind of checks out. And Magic would be like, he's in that age, like he's that generation, right? Where you're gonna watch the Judge Joe show and Family Feud at 3:00 in the afternoon or whatever, right? So I like that stuff.
Jerome, by the way, I thought you were talking about the show Running Point when you were describing the actual Lakers. I honestly was confused for that. I'm telling you, there's something weird. It's uncanny. You have watched it, by the way, Kate Hudson?
I felt like it was my reporting duty, and I'm telling you, I don't think anyone. Like no critic has looked at that show more, more in depth and more like. I'm like taking notes, being like, "Oh my god, is this true? Like burner accounts? Does somebody have a burner account?" Like I'm looking at all this stuff because I have so many questions about who pitched some of these storylines. Yeah, well, I mean, one quick thing: they've frosted Magic had frosted glass windows in his office. They do that in one of the shows. So it's hilarious. Yeah.
Well, if Jeannie Buss ends up in a hot tub with like the owner of the Milwaukee Bucks or something, and it was in that show, then we'll know it was ripped right from real life. Yaron, thank you again. Congrats on the book, A Hollywood Ending: The Dreams and Drama of the LeBron Lakers. Appreciate that.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you. I also love that Magic Johnson so apparently loved to watch Family Feud and a lot of daytime TV. No desk in his office, just a couch and a television.
Oh, my God.
It's so good.
One headline caught my eye. The Jeannie Buss didn't know what pick swaps were. It was getting a lot of attention. And I was like, pick swap. Yeah, then I stopped saying like, oh, how would I explain pick swaps? Like I intuitively know it, but sometimes there's an NBA trade and like you try to wrap your head around the trades. I guess the owner should know that, but I get it. I relate to you, Jeannie.
Coming up, again, we reset the top story scandal today. Chauncey Billups has been arrested along with 2 other NBA players. We'll explain why next.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Well, I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get. Don't you ever talk about me.
Who was talking about you?
Crabtree, don't you open your mouth about the best. Oh, yo, I'm going to set it for you real quick. LOB.
It's gonna be a good day with Maggie and Perloff.
This portion of the show is sponsored by the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid. Learn how it's so much more than just another SUV at HyundaiUSA.com. Who was talking about you? Crabtree. One of the most iconic lines in NFL history. And the reason, Maggie, we're talking about Richard Sherman is...
The 2013 Seattle Seahawks are the latest challenger in the Maggie and Perloff King of the Mountain project. We are trying to find the greatest NFL team of all time. Right now, the 1984 San Francisco 49ers are the King of the Mountain, and the last 5 challengers who have come their way have been dethroned. So now, or been dismissed, excuse me. So now the 2013 LOB, the Legion of Boom, get their crack. You can go to @Maggie and Pearl on X and vote. That's how we determine who is the King of the Mountain.
Oh, if you're a Seattle fan, get on there and vote because, oh boy, it's a fast start for the 49ers. Joe Montana is figuring out the Legion of Boom. He's finding little pockets. Roger Craig just broke I assume Roger Craig was there in 84. I got to check that. Yeah, the Niners look good.
It looks like Super Bowl 43 where the Seahawks got all over the Broncos and said this is the Seahawks getting routed.
Unbelievable. You can go there and vote. Meanwhile, we're following the story this morning about Chauncey Billups, the former, star for the Detroit Pistons, the Hall of Famer, is the current head coach of the Portland Trailblazers. He's been arrested this morning and has been charged in an illegal poker operation that's been tied to the mafia. That's what law enforcement sources are telling ABC News. Terry Rozier has also been arrested this morning, and Damon Jones arrested. Now, for Rozier, it's tied to, odd betting patterns about games he was playing in and his own player props. According to the aptly named Cameron Justice, who is a news reporter, an Emmy-winning news reporter in Ohio, Damon Jones was arrested because he allegedly provided inside information about NBA games to co-defendants who used it to place illegal sports bets. That ain't good.
Yep.
He was an assistant coach for the Cavs, I believe, right? Damon Jones, maybe for the Heat. Anyway, for the Cavs, yeah. So that you don't want, Pearl. Assistant coaches providing inside information to gamblers.
No, and the problem with these scandals is they have tentacles. You know what I mean? Once one thing happens that goes wrong, it begets another thing, and it feels like we're minutes away from the press conference. This is a press conference I really want to hear, to be honest, because I think this is going to have a lasting impact. I don't not think this is a 1 day, 1 week story. I think this is a big one.
I'm going to agree with you there.
Yeah. By the way,
kind of puts a little bit of a damper, too, on what was an unreal debut from Wemby last night. He had been dealing with blood clots, had to shut down the season last year in February, and he traveled the world in the offseason and went to go study with some monks in Tibet. Or was he in Thailand?
I don't know where he
I don't actually remember where he went, but he was studying with monks, and he's trying to get his body right because of this health scare, and he looks bigger, better, and more aggressive than ever. And last night was unreal. What he did to Anthony Davis, one of the league's best defenders, was he made child's play of him. Like Wemby he's already been a big thing. Felt like yesterday he really arrived as possibly the face of the league. And now we get this big betting scandal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think it's going to really take away too much from Wemby, because if they can contain the scandal, we have great news for the NBA. LeBron is going away at some point. Wemby's going to step right back in to be the singular focus of the NBA, kind of like Shohei is with baseball. We have a number one star.
Yeah, we asked you also who's going to become the bigger global star. Is it Shohei Ohtani or is it Victor Wembanyama? Yeah. And Shohei's winning by a landslide. Now, obviously, Shohei's further along, right? He's already won the World Series and he's already won MVPs. But basketball has a unique reach.
Yeah.
And so when all is said and done, if Wemby can stay healthy, does that flip?
Yeah, I think it's possible. I mean, baseball has a big international reach too, especially in Asia where Shohei is. So, I mean, this is two pretty big stars. But if Shohei didn't hit 3 homers and 10 strikeouts the other day, I mean, Wemby was good last night, but how many people were watching at 9:30 at night? And we're on the brink of the World Series. So I think it's unfair, but yeah, I just can't believe it. Remember when I called him a potential bust? Do you remember that?
Do I remember?
I wish I could have that one back, Bag.
Yeah, what did you see then? Like what?
Oh,
it was so
I'll tell you,
long ago.
it's
What made you think he was going to be a bust again?
Tall, skinny guys. I was in Philadelphia when they drafted Sean Bradley, and he could never put on weight, and he was injury prone. You know, I hope Sean Bradley's doing okay. I know it's been tragic for him, but tall, skinny guys break down. That's what I saw.
Well, listen, Wemby's body may still betray him.
Yeah, but he doesn't look like a tall, skinny guy anymore. Last night, I didn't see a tall, skinny guy. I saw a confident, strong, tall guy. Wembanyama?
Well,
sounded good too.
at least you're owning up to it. It takes a big
believe
man.
me, I have no choice.
We will never let you forget it. Thank you, EJ Stewart, Manny Rodriguez. Thanks, Andrew Bogusch, Andrew Kaplan, Yaron Weitzman, who joined us today. The Weedos and the Coffee Drinker. Stay tuned to the Infinity Sports Network for all the latest.
You're in a 5-minute break.